allowed the two children to have the budget every year.
It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
She
Off your mind.
like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Kwam and Pikin they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. My egun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My egun don't come, oh yo yo. My egun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My egun. Ayékún làwa mọ̀, àmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Ayékún dayari, Ayékún ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí.
Hello there.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Ayékún dayari.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live. Thank you so much for joining me again. You know what to do. Share the broadcast. Read the caption of the broadcast. The description as well. Then share it, like it, invite others that you can. I mean, your friends and then your not so friendly friends. Just tell them, my ego today. There is a filed motion to get Tinubu's files released before the end of this month. And there is a reason why.
Facebook, and yes, YouTube.
Some people who have heard the news that Kwam and MC Olueran have been deployed by crook and hook to find David Hundeyin. It is not fake news. It is real. Desperate times, they say, deserves desperate measures. Tinubu is in a hole, and who put him there? David Hundeyin.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Ayé sọ́ra jù. Òwúrọ̀ olóṣèlú. Ayé sọ́ra jù.
Supreme Court, they are choosing set tomorrow as the hearing date, Monday. There is a problem. 3 of those selected have recused themselves. And what that means in legal term is that they cannot be part of it. One of them is retiring on Monday, tomorrow. 2 others have finally recused themselves because of their connection to APC. Egbekegbe as exposed. Now they need to select new people. And they need to make it happen before the end of Friday. Tomorrow is another day, by the way. Share the broadcast. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you and good evening to you. From wherever you are watching from, this is Mayegun and it is live. If you are not watching a replay or a premiere. Now, remember that from last night's update, or should we call it a catch-up, the right name, catch-up, you were told that Tinubu and his lawyers, they are currently in courts in the United States of America. And why, again? It is because of the planned release of Tinubu's criminal records. Although I told you that it's not that these records of a thing, even if they release all of the 70,000 documents they have on Kolu, Nigeria has been captured already. So, some says maybe the expose is the last bullet to be fired in order to abort this destructive APC trajectory for millions of Nigerians when the Supreme Court should legitimize the fraud. Some are saying that, well, it's not really over. Because if all of this document finally comes out and the Supreme Court of Nigeria failed to take them in and the rest of all prediction of nothing go happen, nothing go happen. Finally, the Supreme Court says it's all rubbish and they want to move on. They were waiting for that. But I said, well, I don't have problem with people waiting for something that will trigger them into acting. And that is why I am not sitting down here to judge anybody. Now you go personally judge yourself and pretend to know where you really belong to. I don't judge people, not really. And that is why when people tell you that you are holding it against them because of their own political choice, the same way you have choice for this person, for that person, or for, you know what I mean? They have choices too. As you have your biases towards Tinubu, they have their biases against Obi and Atiku too. So whatever you are seeing it as, they don't expect you to judge them because they chose APC, Egbekegbe. But listen, we are not judging you, okay? It's actually a different thing. We are holding you responsible for the consequences of your own decision. It's a different thing. A lot of you don't want to be held responsible. You see what is going on in Nigeria today? There are actually millions of Nigerians, whether they bought them, whether they are just ignorant, whether they were deceived into tribal, whatever you want to call it. There are millions of Nigerians who are indeed segmented in this contraption called Nigeria. And they love their oppressors differently. They love their thieves differently. There's no, there's no doubt. There are actually millions who bring this upon them. Upon Nigeria. The economic problem that APC brought, the legalization of corruption, the legalization of terrorism, the legalization of human rights abuses, detaining people without for no reasons. All of these are the consequences of your decision. So you should be able to be responsible and take responsibility. When people are talking about the ruins of APC, you should not be defending it as if to say, some of you are so bad, are so terrible. You have been caught in this whole thing. The whole economic crisis is affecting everybody, whether you are living in Nigeria or you are not living in Nigeria. A lot of you don't want to probably tell yourselves the honest truth, whether you supported them or you don't support them. Now everybody, they collect right now, home and abroad. And it is because of your decision. So why are you trying to now change the narrative by asking that, what would other people have done? Hello? That is irresponsible. It's an act of irresponsibility, like your criminal leaders. They are not taking responsibility for anything. They're asking you to sacrifice more. Sacrifice. We must all sacrifice. But you are looking at them, plundering your resources away, plundering your commonwealth away. You can't do anything because you brought this upon everybody. Take responsibility. It's not judging you. You brought this upon Nigeria. Anything Nigeria is going through right now, if you are supporting APC, you should take responsibility that, now my decision brought all of this. So, sure you get. Then people will not be actually judging you. But a lot of you are now using and saying, what if it's Obi? Sure, if it is Obi, Obi will do miracle. If it's Atiku, sure, Atiku go do anything different. Sure, all of us should blah, 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 blah. Hello? You are not responsible. You are an irresponsible, humbled slave. And that is where we have problems. You are asking what would other people have done when you are actually standing behind those that have brought ruins, not just upon those they don't like, including you. So it's an act of irresponsibility. You are not responsible. And then people will begin to what? Actually call you out. And calling you out is not also judging you. And small causes or big causes, anyone that comes to mind that comes your way, you should take it because you are irresponsible. Your criminal leaders are irresponsible. Those of you who brought them into this or defending them, you are also irresponsible. Somebody forged certificates. You are asking others, share others self, they never forged certificates before. They said somebody traded in heroin, forfeited money. You are saying that was years ago. Anybody who never committed any crime before should come out and throw the first stone. You are defending it. You are irresponsible. But when it comes to the consequences of your choice, the consequences of your choice is that you brought APC, Egbekegbe, to power and you wanted them to make your lives better. Have they make your life better? In the practical things, now I'm talking to you directly now. This is not me asking you to look around and look for who to blame. I'm talking to you. You decided from day one, Abi, because APC, Egbekegbe, told you they will make your life better and make Nigeria better. You remember this? The what do you call it? Their first time, what have you?
We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt.
I bring you a message of hope.
We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
Do you remember that? They were meant to make your life better. In 8 years, they turned your lives upside down, made more of you poorer. Whatever your expectation of them has been dashed already. You know that. But I'm talking to you directly now. I'm not asking you to look around and begin to ask questions, stupid questions. Because your questions is that you know the answer. They have made your life worse. They have made Nigeria worse. But they are still blaming people. Even you are still blaming people. In fact, you are asking stupid questions like, what would others do? What would they have done different? You will never know what they would do different or what they would have done different. You will never know because you backed criminals who made your life hell. You stuck with that decision, but you are now shying away from the responsibility of that. And that is what stupid people do. They gaslight other people. Once you see stupid people, okay, they not only ask stupid questions when the truth stares them on the face. They begin to ask stupid questions to gaslight you or deflect completely. But take responsibility. Let's start from that. So, they don't give a damn. Whatever the record is that FBI want to release or not, is none of their problems. As long as the criminals are in power, that is enough. And they can begin to ask all of you to turn to prayer warriors. I was reading some of the comments of some of you. In fact, one particular one caught my attention from last night's broadcast. And it was when we were talking about Sheikh Osama bin Gumi, asking for the removal of Wiriwike and throwing in some ethno-religious hate speech, like Christians cannot be trusted with the security of Nigeria. Whenever Christians are in power, they destroy Nigeria. This was Gumi saying all of that. And somebody commented, man, I think all of us from southern Nigeria, especially Christians, we must all come together and support Tinubu, because this is what these northern people always do. They will gang up against the south. And I was like, you see, do you see how Stockholm syndrome works? Do you see how majority of you, somehow, you were here yesterday, and then you are here today? Your position yesterday is now switching back and forth like that of Nigeria NEPA, simply because you are more or less like weather that changes constantly because of your hidden closet biases. Nigerians love their criminals differently. Nigerians are people that will tell you, my own thief is better than your own thief. Our thief is a God-fearing thief. In Nigeria, they debate them and tell you, Baba, it is what it is. As a Yoruba man, once you are in that shithole, of tautology. What you will get is going to be, even if they present a drug dealer, a money launderer, human trafficker, a kidnapper or kingpin of the underworld as your leader, and is a Yoruba, you are expected to ignore all common sense and embrace him, because the Igbos are embracing their own criminals too. The Fulanis are embracing their criminals. The Gbagbagba is so it is this kind of mentality. Others will be like, I am supporting him not because of anything. I know they are all the same, but he is a God-fearing man, God-fearing thief, a Christian for that matter. I actually respect him, even though Nigerian politics is dirty. They are all the same. But he's a Christian and he's a pastor. Oh, you know what? I believe anybody that is a Muslim than anybody in this Nigeria. You see, the reason why I support him is because he's a northerner and he's a Muslim. The Hadith told us that a Muslim will never lie. A Muslim will never steal. But because Nigeria is dirty, so this Muslim, if it steals, he is stealing the money to support the cause of Allah, somehow. So it's not that stealing is that bad. It's not that kind of haram. If he's using it to send people to Mecca, you know, that kind of mentality. This has now categorized Nigerians. The recent ones are the classism one. I mean, the classists. Here you get. And those ones where they broke, shame all of us. We no get money. If we talk, they go say now because of poverty mentality, they make us talk like that. When you say, how come you go buy cars of 56 billion for just 360 people in a country where people are living in abject poverty, for goodness sake? Businesses are dying. These people are like, how could you do that? They say, do you think it's easy to be a lawmaker? You are just talking from poverty mind. So if they now give them, is that the money that will now save Nigeria? Is the 56 billion the one that will now make all of Nigerians not to be poor again? You are just talking as a poor man. Now poor, we poor. But look at us. They treat us like sin a person. Now kill, we kill person. Poverty is what they call it. Nigerians. I mean, classism. That's a new one. Even though many people believe that what Nigerians actually have is not tribalism, it's not ethnicism, it's not a problem of religious supremacy, it is actually class. Because when you look at the categories or how Nigeria runs, you realize that it is between the powerful and the powerless. There is no in between. So you are either on the part of the powerful or you are very, very powerless. So you can do anything and everything to belong to the caucus of the powerful. Okay? Even if the world sees you so naked, the king is naked again. It doesn't really matter because it is very, very cold outside if you are powerless. And what do you mean by powerful and powerless? That too has been redefined. Back in the days in Nigeria, when that classism used to be something, right? It was that do everything to make money, so that person will not get money, no go insult you. But in Nigeria of today, the shege that is now dealing with everybody doesn't even separate any whether you have money or you don't have money. It just belongs. Which class do you belong to? Where criminals are lawmakers or lawbreakers are lawmakers in that Nigeria. So, talking about people who have chosen, somebody told me the other day, and they said, you know, Nigerians are just reflection. So Nigerian leaders are reflections of Nigerians themselves. That if all of us want to be honest with the way we actually deal, the majority of Nigerians today who are always up in arms, trying to tell how worse Nigerian leaders are, how horrible and heartless they are. When you look at majority of them, if to say Nigeria is a real place, majority of them will be in jail, or they would have been ex-convicts of so many convictions. Because Nigerians are the reflections of their criminal leaders. So their leaders knows that Nigerians are heartless and cold-hearted too. They are also chancers. And I'm not trying to generalize here. There are amazing, beautiful Nigerians. And that is why these horrible Nigerians in Nigeria and even outside Nigeria, that is why they've always have endless flood of victims. And guess what? When we talk about these criminal Nigerians, the ones that are indeed producing criminal leaders, operating in a criminal system where the righteous are always going to be the victims. Majority of them, and majority of their victims are Nigerians too. Do you know that? Nigerians who want to do things right, they ended up being the victims of the Nigerians who are now in charge of critical infrastructures or critical institutions in Nigeria, corrupted the entire place, right? So who do you think are their victims? Nigerians too. The other day, Yakofo was talking to me, and guess what happened? Talking about Nigerians here now. She told me that, a boy has, lost a bank card, and she didn't bother to block it. They said you have to block it so that they don't start spending money from your bank card. Then 5 days later, she started receiving messages from loan sharks. Guess what happened? Somebody found the bank card, and they used the bank card, the details on the bank card, and they used that to apply for loan. No verification needed, no nothing is, you know what I mean? And they started giving them this loan. Now, within 24 hours of giving the loans, she managed to block the card, and I think they couldn't use it anymore or something. But there was already a debit of about 47,000 naira within 24 hours of, and it wasn't like somebody spent the money. They actually used the card to take out loans from loan sharks. And after 24 hours, these loan sharks started sending her messages that they've already picked her WhatsApp message and pictures. Every pictures they could find on her WhatsApp status, they've picked them. And they composed the message that they were going to post her on social media, that she, she defrauded them of 47,000 naira. She is a criminal. She is a kidnapper. She is a fraudster too. So they will now sort of possibly even post like our obituary. And many, many Nigerians are falling victims of this corrupt system called Nigeria today. So if you want to begin to look at us talking about criminals and the system that Nigeria has become, Nigerians as the reflection, or Nigerian leaders as reflection of their own citizens as Nigerians. So I'm not actually like generalizing it to make you feel bad, because we are also the victims of this rotten system, the criminal takeover. And that is why when David came out and said he had it on a very good authority that MC Olueran, K1D, ultimately, that they have been sort of commissioned, among others. So remember that DSS, Interpol, and some other secret guys are already working and trailing David Hundeyin all over the world for exposing Tinubu to this point, to international shame. Their plan didn't work. So they wanted him captured and kidnapped and returned back to Nigeria. So you will be like, how come? K1, musician, looking for the African #1 investigative journalist, David Hundeyin. How is that even? Is that even possible? Baba, it is very possible, and it is not a fake news. Desperate times deserve desperate measures. And a lot of things are happening. You see, this month, the month of October, I remember telling a lot of you then from the beginning that October is pregnant. It is pregnant with so much of Tinubu's criminal life. A lot of us are going to be shocked beyond our own expectations. The FBI record, the Chicago State University record, and so many other things that were in the offing. Tinubu knows that they are inevitable. And you see all of these things. The effect they have on Nigeria is that apart from the fact that you have an elected criminal, an unelected criminal parading himself as your president, wearing the toga of a criminal lord, that alone has already put a red flag on Nigeria, as if the damage is done by Boko Haram and the Fulani terrorists and this APC, Egbekegbe to Nigeria, in 8 years, as if they are not enough. You allowed an unelected drug baron, a career criminal, somebody that America and the rest of the world have their own compromise on. They have not told you about what the MICs have on him. You have not heard about what other international security bodies have on him. It's going to be a floodgate of Pandora box. He knows, but he also knows where he is operating. He knows Nigeria, and they know what they have done. So they hurriedly decided to put together a Supreme Court justices to announce that they are now going to listen to the appeal. This was after the Chicago State University exposure that confirmed that Tinubu forged the certificate he submitted to INEC. They have been, listen to this. Somebody will won't come save you. Nigeria is in serious economic trouble. And this economic trouble was brought upon Nigeria by APC, Egbekegbe. People are not in jail right now for what they have done to Nigeria. The person will won't come help you, help economy, help Nigeria. He's appointing media gurus, media people. Well, how can media and spokespersons, media personalities, image launderers, how can they help you to bring Nigeria back? So he's hiring people to help his image. Those that are going to help in reducing the damages that all of this FBI record are going to expose. He's not hiring experts to help you on your economy. He's not hiring experts to help you create jobs. He's not hiring experts to help businesses. They are just telling you they will. It's coming. But guess those who are picking up appointment letters, getting paid, are those who are in the media lying to you. So for 5 months, do you now understand what that means? Instead of hiring economists, they are hiring propagandists. So in 5 months, Nigeria Naira crashed from 710 Naira to $1. It has now crashed to over 1,200 Naira. Are you still deceiving yourself? Are you? Don't worry. So desperate times deserves desperate measures. So they hurriedly put together the criminals in the judiciary, majority of them with different indictments, majority of them that should be in jail. But fair enough, some of them felt like, they don't think they are ready for this exposure of whatever this is going to be. Because right now, the impression they are building in Nigeria, Tinubu is building it, is the impression that anything where you hear about me, anything anybody says about me, they are saying them because they are my enemy. And because they are my enemy, they are also enemies of Nigeria. But let me tell you something. It is only the Supreme Court of Nigeria that can confirm everything they are saying about me, whether they are true or not. That is the Tinubu's narrative in Nigeria. Not because they don't know the truth. They just want to live through it like, to hell with it. The judiciary would declare him legitimate. The certificate forgery, original. The 460,000 US dollars forfeiture in America, fake news. The 25% constitutional requirement in Abuja, nonsense. The 18,080 polling unit results that are completely blank, no result, no nothing printed on them, fake news. They don't matter. They will say the same thing. Tinubu is driving that narrative in Nigeria. But he is not stupid, yo. He is not stupid, though. In case if you don't know, Tinubu will be the worst thing that happened to you and to Nigeria in your lifetime, in our lifetime, all of us. This one has nothing to do whether he's a Muslim, he's a Christian, he's a Yoruba or Igbo, Hausa. You have no idea what you have entered. He knows. He does. He knows. But what they don't really know better today is that you can use propaganda, violence, and every other thing you like to access power. You cannot sustain it by the same method, though. Propaganda, high-handedness, lawlessness, criminality, and all of those. You cannot sustain it. It is going to keep people agitated. Did you hear how many people they killed in Benue, Oturuko? In Benue, yesterday. From their record, they killed a DPO, 2 policemen, making that 3 policemen. They killed other civilian, probably over 10 people. Then they killed one. The police said they killed 2 of the armed robbers. That is what the Nigeria economy is going to bring back. Crime is going to be of the highest. Different crimes, that some of them that you've never imagined, they will happen in places that you have never ever imagined. That is the consequences of bringing in criminals to run a country. They have no idea of what they are doing to help you. You are not going to get helped. And Tinubu knows. But whether you are going to sink together or swim together, or continue to tell yourselves that now patience you need, because that's what Tinubu told the Obas yesterday. He said, now patience, people should be patient. Ha 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 ha. Patient kill you. Baba, you have no idea. Or should we say a lot of people they have no idea of what the other person is actually going through, right? So what have they done? Tinubu went to court, okay, this week, to try, and he actually sued FBI, sued the Executive Office for U.S. Attorneys, okay, sued the CIA, the Internal Revenue, sued the CIA, only Tinubu. Then they put together judges and said they are going to determine the case. Now, from this list now, of the judges that were supposed to quickly listen to the case so that they can throw everything out, possibly before the end of October, or the plan, from what people heard, is that the plan is that if the Supreme Court sits quickly, then if FBI is delayed for a while before releasing anything, okay, so whatever FBI release later will just be like that of Chicago State University. You know, that Chicago State University report came after the appeal court ruling. Remember, Abi? So they want to plot the same thing. And in this case, what they didn't know is that the case between the FBI and Greenspan, there is based on the Freedom of Information Act, okay? the one that compelled FBI to release every document of Tinubu in their care. All of his criminal record, his financial record, and everything, his family and everything that is around him and associated with him. So they put together justices that one of them is retiring tomorrow, which is Monday. Another person is Saulawa, Justice I.N. Saulawa. That one has also pulled out because it was like, no, I'm not prepared for this. So it's pulled out. Another one is that Justice Helen Ogunwumiju, this woman. So she has also pulled out based on conflict of interest. So now, the Supreme Court of Nigeria, they will need to hurriedly replace those people so that if they still want to carry out a Tinubu's plots, they will really need to replace those justices because they have to sit tomorrow. So which means Atiku and Obi are going to court tomorrow without knowing 3 of those justices on the panel. But whatever that is, I don't, So what they have now done is that Aaron Greenspan, the real person, for the record though, you see this particular case of the FBI releasing the document and the record of Tinubu, that one is not Atiku. Sorry, tomorrow is Sunday, rather. Monday, in 2 days' time. It's like I'm already considering those who are going to watch a replay by making them anticipate. Thank you very much for that. Tomorrow is Sunday. Okay, so day after. Anyway, Monday. All right. So you see this case is not Atiku. Atiku's case is based on that Tinubu committed perjury. He submitted forged certificate from Chicago State University, which shows that he never graduated from there and they never issued him any certificate. Tinubu lied, and he lied under oath in Nigeria. He broke Nigeria law. So if there is law in Nigeria, Tinubu should be in jail, not inside the old rock, the old people's home. That one is Atiku's case with the Chicago State University. You see, this one is bigger than Atiku's case. That one is about anything and everything that America has on Tinubu. Whether it is classified or not classified, everything must be released to this lawyer. And that lawyer is working with David Hundeyin. So if all of you are thinking, why would Ayinde and Olueran looking for David? It is because after reviewing the damages of what they are about to release and what that is likely going to be, and on the rest of Nigeria and the rest of the world, this David is a walking atomic bomb. Anything that they can do to get him back. But before they will get David Hundeyin, the partner of David in that same America, talking about Aaron Greenspan, has now filed a motion in American courts telling the FBI, you need to start releasing those documents now. Now, the court said you should, and you've told us you would. Now, you have to, because the Tinubu that they know has already started putting together the Supreme Court of Nigeria to give him a favorable decision. If you have anything to share, this is it now. And that is being determined as we speak, that FBI should go ahead. So by Monday, as the Supreme Court of Nigeria is trying to figure out those who are going to help Tinubu out of this whole thing, FBI may start releasing the documents. Listen to this. Word for word, right? This is the motion. And the motion is very kind of clear. It is not, this is like in response, okay? In response to Tinubu's effort in delaying the release of those documents, okay? Now, in case if you are wondering, what does this mean generally, Mayegun? Like, what does this mean? This expose is so huge that it can actually be the end of Tinubu and APC generally. What they are about to release can trigger a national and international real protest. The revolution you are talking about, what they are about to release, can be the ingredients for that revolution. I just thought I should tell you. Even though many of us believe that with the level of the state capture in Nigeria, it is going to be effort in futility. It's going to be waste of time. It is not going to change anything. But somehow, there are those who are well convinced that even America knows what this is likely going to be for Nigeria. And they are also trying to play it with care. Seriously, Tinubu is ready to jump as high as America wants him to jump. Tinubu is ready to share the what do you call it? The booties, the loot of the carcass of Nigerians that are going to be the victims of their crooked government. So whatever America wants, they can take in Nigeria. So if America release all of these things, I'm talking about the real thing. Would that simply mean America is also ready to throw Tinubu under the bus and help trigger the local revolution in Nigeria? There are so many worries. Can Tinubu's hired media handlers undo what is about to be released? Can the judiciary in Nigeria that has become so compromised, can they still help reduce the damage control of what is about to be released? Nobody knows. But somebody is worried. And I think some other people knows too why they are or they should be worried. Nobody knows. You and I don't know. Whatever I tell you right now, they are going to be from those who are in the know, but they are not authorized to actually issue those documents. So therefore, they are not official. So when FBI release them, it is not just FBI releasing documents, CIA releasing, Internal Revenue of America releasing. Are you with me? As they are releasing those documents, they will be releasing them on his family too. So it's going to be like a health-shattering information. Now, if somebody say nothing will happen in Nigeria after that, they may be right and they may be wrong. So this law firm is now asking them to release it quick. Are you with me? Release them, because Tinubu is about to play a smart one on Nigerians. I'll go read them for word so that it's going to help me to further make my illustration on this and take you straight to why they will do anything and everything to also get David Hundeyin, same way they did everything and tried everything to kidnap Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. A lot of you have no idea how many years it took them and how much of Nigeria resources it took them to get Nnamdi Kanu kidnapped from Kenya. Even though you might say, of course, they have the resources. Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped from Kenya based on a fraudulent intel to Kenyan government, which later took the Kenyan government into the international court, where they are now not even just international, they are denying Nigeria, they are denying their involvement in what they help Nigeria to do. So the same thing is what you are about to witness. Why? They will go to the end of the world. And I'll tell you why soon. I'm going to read this one word for word, okay? So this was submitted by the attorney that is asking for the freedom of information. So I know, freedom trades, right? People have said that, okay? Even me, I have heard people who have said that to me many times. There is nothing FBI will release that will change anything. But here is my own theory. Let me tell you my theory. Just like I said earlier, okay? A lot of Nigerians are expecting, what is that special thing that FBI is going to tell us about Tinubu that is going to finally unsettle Nigerians? And they will react. What is that thing? Then I said, from what we have already heard, they said they have over 70,000 documents on Tinubu and his associates. You understand? Right now, Tinubu has been obeying America. Whatever America wanted from him, he is ready to do it. Okay? Whatever, if they ask him to jump, he's ready. He's just going to ask them, how high? Somehow, even if his policies and his actions are making Nigerians poorer, as long as the interest of America is still protected, America don't give a shit about Nigeria. So this is where they will now come in. Shebi, they are expecting FBI to release something. Oh yeah, you just release all this and that to them. By not releasing the real thing. Sure, you understand now? Which means they will release what they believe will just be meant for sensation. So by so doing, America has controlled how majority of those who are waiting for America profile to shake earth, they will be disappointed and be like, see, is this what we have been waiting for? So now all this trash, they won't show us since, That is to tell you that America is now holding the ace now. Sure, you understand? At least for those who are waiting for America. I know it's not be all of us, they wait for America FBI. We are just waiting for what is in that thing that Tinubu is ready to spend every dollar to stop them from releasing. So according to Greenspan, they said, this lawsuit concerns a number of Freedom of Information Acts requests about Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is recognized by many as the current president of Nigeria. Mr. Tinubu had a role in the early 1990s laundering money for a heroin ring in Chicago. The FOIA request at issue in this case largely involves documents that more fully describe his role in that criminal enterprise. Mr. Tinubu's 2023 elections to the Nigeria presidency is hotly contested. According to the New York Times, a judicial tribunal in Nigeria confirmed on Wednesday, September 6, the result of a contested February presidential election that kept Africa's most populous country on edge amid allegations of voting irregularities and tainted the first month in power for the declared winner, President Tinubu. So see, in quotes, Nigerian court reject challenges to contested presidential election by Elian Peltier, September 6, 2023. That is the link in that motion. While the same New York Times article also reported that the plaintiffs have 60 days to file an appeal to Nigeria Supreme Court. In the past 24 hours, the timelines of events appears to have accelerated dramatically in Nigeria. The Nigerian Supreme Court now plans to begin hearing arguments regarding the circumstances of Mr. Tinubu's election on Monday, 23rd October. The sudden advance in timing appears intended to front-run the release of responsive FOIA documents from the defendants in this action, and especially the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Those documents will likely be directly relevant to the foreign proceedings in Nigeria. Through defendant counsel, plaintiff made defendants aware of the foreign proceedings in Nigeria in September 2023. Defendants acknowledged the unique circumstances in this case and affirmed that documents will be produced as they became available. No documents have been produced thus far. Attached to this motion is, as Exhibit A, is a document that purports to have a scheduling order relevant to this matter issued by the Supreme Court of Nigeria. Pursuant to Local Civil Rule 7M, plaintiff attempted to discuss this matter by email and phone with Attorney Littman, but he responded that he is on leave today. In light of the above, plaintiff requests a remote Zoom or similar hearing at the court's earliest convenience, and ideally on Monday, October 23rd, to discuss even most remote possibly of documents being produced before the October 31st, 2023 chosen by defendant for themselves. Rightly so. This was the legal team requesting for the official release of all of the documents relating to Tinubu's drug heroin dealing and heroin trafficking business in America, especially relating to that, should be released. Meanwhile, if you check Tinubu's case, asking the court to stop the release of those documents until 31st of October. Do you understand? Tinubu is asking the court to please stand down FBI from releasing all of his documents at least until the 31st of October. Now, when he was asking the court in America to delay the release, they quickly went to Nigeria to put the Supreme Court justices together to go and listen to the case of Atiku and Obi. Do you understand that now? So are they all adding up to you for you? So now let us come back to the part where a lot of people believe that nothing FBI will release or America will release will make any difference in Nigeria. You may be right, and you may also be wrong. Remember my theory earlier. It's my theory. It doesn't mean that I am right, okay? And it doesn't also mean that I'm wrong. I'm saying it is only the Americans who have all these records. They will be the one to vet what they will release. Of course, the law says they have to release them, okay? So if they release the original stuff, they further give all of the exposure needed. Okay? That simply means Tinubu is done for. You may not understand what that means, but you understand later. It is going to be a Pandora. This time, it will drag Nigeria to the hole with him. And it's just not going to end there. That's another thing. Whenever FBI finally release all of these documents, they are just going to open up more questions. It's not going to end there. There will be more questions and more questions. And as people are asking more questions, they'll be digging out more. All of these are going to continue to have negative effect on Nigeria. Tinubu will be battling with all of that. His image and all of those who are going to be doing the media damage control here and there, while the rest of Nigeria will continue to burn. Economic destruction. And that is going to be the aftermath of all of this. And as their own ways, as it is always their way, they will blame others, as they are doing right now. And why do they want David? You know David Hundeyin. Make I give you some reminders of some of the things or some of the jobs he did that a lot of us today probably don't even remember them. Talk less of valuing them. Talk less of ensuring that they never happened again. I'll give you some of them that comes to my mind. David Hundeyin, when the killings in the Middle Belt part of Nigeria, when the Fulani terrorists, with the help of the APC, Egbekegbe, the financiers of this terrorism, were murdering and slaughtering the people of the Middle Belt, the Christians especially, when they are slaughtering the Christians in the Christian communities all over the northern part of Nigeria, the government of Nigeria, through the likes of El Rufaya, they were paying people, okay, to call every report of attack and killings, to call them clashes. That anybody who is talking about the killings, who are reporting the killings, the thousands of the killings of this, the killings of thousands of these Christians, the kidnapping and beheadings of bishop, evangel, all these Christian preachers in northern Nigeria, Nigerian northern criminal politicians, they were spending money to turn whoever was reporting those murderous campaign at the time as enemies of Nigeria who wanted to trigger religious war. Meanwhile, there was already religious war going on. People were being slaughtered. Seriously. David Hundeyin did all the collection and he reported on that genocide. He didn't just report it. There were witnesses, there were pictures, there were eyewitnesses, there were survivors. There were images and the videos of the ruins. There were mention of those who were sponsoring the murderous campaign in northern Nigeria by David Hundeyin. The report was a 450-page report of the genocide going on in the Middle Belt part of Nigeria. This was a very detailed job done by David. Nobody reacted. The perpetrators, they are in different political positions in Nigeria today. Yes, they are. Those who were in charge then, they maintained those positions for years. And the killings continued. See kind of continues. It was David Hundeyin who was like, when everybody was asking questions, who were those behind the terrorism in Nigeria? What was the genesis of terrorism? How are they funding terrorism in Nigeria? He did a masterpiece. Conflicts for Jihad. We are talking about things that you can put your hands on. Projects that answered questions. But a lot of people, they never bother to open them. Here you get, giving room for the criminals to further fund all of their propagandists to chart different narratives. Conflicts for Jihad. You remember that, don't you? David Hundeyin started this journey of exposing who is Amodashongolere, Abi Ogunlere, Tinubu, and this issue of certificate verification and the fact that he actually was a career criminal. There are evidence. He did a masterpiece on that and he put his life on the line for it. And his freedom too. So that same David, still free, walking about, is just going to be an endless nightmare for people who had no plan of changing Nigeria, but to make your life even worse and hellish as possible. So he's going to always tell us, if you're asking how money they miss, if you're asking how terrorists are being funded, if you're asking how much, what do you call it? Those who are supposed to be in jail are still walking about. David will give you the answer. He will give you the evidence. And he will tell you their names. They don't want that. They don't want that. He is a walking atomic bomb. Just like Nnamdi Kanu was a walking atomic bomb. They did a great job. They did a wonderful job. They spent so much money to give you the impression of what majority of you watching me right now have about Nnamdi Kanu. So many of you could not actually pinpoint and present any real proof where Nnamdi Kanu indeed committed any act of violence against anybody. No, but they did a great job these past years because Nnamdi Kanu was telling all of us, remember, how they were using the churches to blackmail you, using your religion to blackmail you, telling you the real teachings of what they are teaching this northern Muslim population. They are teaching them supremacy over others. They are teaching them that Nigeria is their inheritance. He said, by the time they start with you, when they start killing all of us, at the end of the day, you will see your government backing them. Instead of your government to fight for you, they will be fighting for the terrorists. Nnamdi Kanu said that. A lot of you who have now come to learn how to live with this life of terrorism that Nigeria has become in 8 years of APC, a lot of you were calling him a madman. He was inciting violence. Nnamdi Kanu was making the Igbos to hate Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu is making the Nigerians to hate Igbos. Nnamdi Kanu is preaching hatred. He's doing this or that. Of course, a lot of you have told me that you have come to regret that you believed all the lies you were told, even though you still have your disagreement with the way he was delivering his message. But you are so sorry that you choose never to listen to him, that everything he said, they've now happened. And a lot of you are now asking, how did we get here? Right before your very eyes. They are pardoning terrorists. They are rehabilitating terrorists. But terrorism in Nigeria has become a huge industry. When they arrest Fulani terrorists, in the morning, by evening time, he will be getting ready to pray Ishai prayer. They raise the generation to make you to hate you. And you are so concerned that Nnamdi Kanu wanted the rest of Igbos and the rest of Nigeria to actually understand this true picture. What do you mean? I mean, what do you think? In a country where you are supposed to be one Nigeria, but there are some who believe that you are an infidel if you are from southern Nigeria or if you are a Christian. Is that not true? Is that not real? Even when somebody tells you, I'm a Muslim and I don't believe in that, I don't believe in that idea, does that make it not something that is happening? Are there no millions of Nigerians who believe that if you are not a Muslim, you are an infidel, a filthy thing, something that should never be touched, something that is worthless, valueless, and you are supposed to be of the same country? Are you not hearing people who publicly preach that? You don't hate them, do you? Because you are scared of them. You are scared of the violence that they actually preach, Abi. Now, your government finally legalized those violence right before your eyes. You are so ashamed of yourself that you cannot, in your pride and your ego, you cannot admit that somebody once told you that they would do that to you. Nnamdi Kanu told you like a prophet. Of course he did. There, and you see what they have done to him. Do you see how they made him more dangerous than those who are kidnapping Nigerians and killing them, harvesting their organs for money, and they can't do anything for them or to them? They are telling you to learn how to live with them, or you are going to be tagged Islamophobic. So Nnamdi Kanu is more dangerous than them in some of you textbook today. So they did a great job. They did a great job. And we also put up enough resistance against misinformation and fake news of these criminals who are the real habitat or harbinger of violence. Once they just need to give a dog a bad name before they hang it, Abi. So they went all out to stage a kidnapping and kidnapped a man that they have no case against, and he even defeated them in their own country, in their own court, using their own laws, but they are so shameless that they can't let him go. Remember that. They are planning the same thing for David Hundeyin, because with David Hundeyin still walking about. All of you who call people like us noisemakers, realities, people who are like, realists like us, you call us inciters. Those who tell people the truth and let them react on it. You call us inciters because we have evidence to present. People like David Hundeyin, is more dangerous to this criminal enterprise. And when he said they have commissioned Kwam the Ultimate, as well as MC Olueran, to start tracking him, I don't want you to think that is a fake news or a false alarm. I'll tell you why you shouldn't. A lot of us in Nigeria, including many of us who are still in Nigeria today, we grew up dancing to musics that are celebrating criminals, successful criminals, drug dealers, money launderers, certificate forgers, as you can tell. I am talking about economic saboteurs, real violent criminals, drug dealers. As long as they spend money to some of these A-list artists at the time, it was about money. And that's to show your success. They build new houses, just bought new cars, or they just married new wife, or they are marrying another wife, and they want to share that, or they just turned another age, and they want to celebrate that, or they were just given as chieftaincy titles. We were dancing. I still dance, unfortunately. I still dance to some of this beautiful music that are glorifying criminals, glorifying political criminals too. And in this case, we were all there, ignorantly, celebrating criminals. But it is more than that. Ayinde build relationship with his own audience. For those who know Ayinde very well, and those who know Nigerians very well, if you are looking for Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, and all Nigerians from all parts of Nigeria, those who can speak Yoruba and those who can't, many of them have crossed through Ayinde himself. There were times in our own childhood when we were growing up, the report of musicians in Nigeria running as drug mules for drug dealers. I can remind you, in case if you don't know, because a lot of you today, you are now so used to Afrobeat, Davido, Wizkid, Burna, Ati, who is there again? Lil, I don't know. You are used to them today. Those who are making at least some clean money, with others who are also making some little Yahoo money and other fraudulent things they are all engaging themselves in. When we were growing up, during my own time, Fuji musicians were either reported to have been arrested for drug dealing. They said some of them who were so famous from Nigeria, they will pack drugs in the 80s. Listen to this. So in the 80s, they will pack drugs in their speakers because they have tour. They are going to London. They are going to America. Because most of the time, when they move all those drugs down in their speakers and the special coverage privilege they had, those drug dealers are those who are going to come to their shows and spray money, like, you know what I mean? Because most of the time, when they leave Nigeria and say they are going on tour, they are going there to perform at some restaurants, African restaurants in some corner shops in some of these top cities in the world. Not that they are actually like going into a big place like that. But at some point, people were organizing birthday. When they know that they are actually in town, they can give them job of, come and perform at my party. But when you look at the lifestyle of some of these artists from Nigeria in those days, right? Their lifestyle and the money they earn, they don't match. And a lot of us grew up knowing that most of them are drug dealers or they are friends of drug dealers. So Ayinde was top of the list, by the way. Yeah, stories plenty in that regard. And when you are talking about knowing people, knowing boys, it's so easy. A lot of those people that a lot of you know today, whether you know them as a bad boys or bad, good, big, bad boys, whatever you call them as, majority of them, they are very much close to some of these artists. So, and they can actually get people who can give him free information where David is. MC Olueran is the richest, is the richest political thug in Nigeria and possibly in the rest of Africa today. The guy on the right, okay, is supposed to be a non-state actor, but is really, really well covered. Now, because MC Olueran is also the leader of some of these criminal, violent people all over the world, there's something these guys have managed to do. You see, one of that is this. Their political coverage, the political backings that they have has given them access, unlimited access to so many parts of the world. That you can give that to them. And it is not just that. Based on their activities and their loyalty to their criminal leaders like Tinubu, these guys like MC Olueran, who are very much in the know of, name all the kind of crimes you want to, criminal you want. Do you want assassins, people who help to kill people? Assassins, Do you want political thugs who can just come in and cause political riots and kill people? Do you want people who can indeed act as as mob? They can come after an entire community, unleash violence, and the police will do nothing. Now, one thing here is this. They have access to all of the condemned criminals that you can think of. All of the ardent cultists you can think of. MC Olueran did not go to any school. So don't think he became the leader of all the cultists or all of these criminals in that aspect because he went to any school. No. MC Olueran is running a criminal enterprise under the banner of National Road Transport Union. Workers or something, NURTW. Abi? And that was how they legalized their criminality. Now, what they do that you don't know is that apart from them having access to any part of the world, under different cover, including diplomatic passports, they also have the same capacity to take out all of the wanted criminals, wanted assassins, wanted wanted cultists, wanted murderers from Nigeria. They can get them relocated from Nigeria and give them new identity in any part of the world. They have been doing it. There are some of them that they will tell you is wanted in Nigeria, but is living in America under a different name, courtesy of the likes of MC Olueran. All of these guys, they hold them. So when people tell me, Mayegun, be very careful, all these things that you are saying, they are so true. They all have all these, they are criminal people everywhere. I said, I know. I do, I know. But being careful means you shouldn't in any way trying to educate the society on the activities as well as the criminal reach of these criminals. At the same time, what they are capable of doing in particular, without you yourself having some level of personal protection for yourself. I wouldn't have to talk about that to you, but it doesn't mean that they don't have the resources to harm anybody anywhere. But it's the one powerful resources that I believe is more valuable than money, which is what they have, okay, is that for people to know and be aware of the type of people you are dealing with, and don't lose guard. Don't pretend that nothing can happen. Anything can happen anywhere. So if I tell you, it's because I know it and I believe it. So if you tell me to be very careful, I hope you are also being careful too. And in the level of being careful, Does that then mean that we're all going to have to run away from these criminals? No, we are not going to run away from them. They are not many. They are the violent ones. I mean, they are those who have violence. They have the backing of government, and they believe they can get away with it. But it's because you don't know the power you have too. Now that you know what they are capable of doing, you can now begin to tell yourself too, how do you safeguard and indeed clip their fingers? You may be saying, okay, David, we must protect David. It is not just David. A lot of you are going to become David too. I did tell you some times ago, I said, whether you like it or not, okay, whether you are on this side today and you think it's not affecting you, and you think some people are doing too much, your own self too much, your own self too much, every time too much, my brother, it is a matter of time, because Nigeria is going to make you become somebody like Mayegun too. Don't worry. Nigeria is going to make you become somebody like Nnamdi Kanu. Nigeria will force you to become somebody like Sunday Igboho. You are all going to become even worse than the people you think are doing too much in reacting to the expansionist, as well as the idea of this state capture and what they stand for and the damages they can do. Some of you, by being well informed, okay, we are saving ourselves too, because you are going to become us, whether they arrest us or kidnap us or even kill us. It is never going to stop, because what they are doing, they are produce people like us and produce thousands, if not millions, of people like me. It's still being done. A majority of you are still sitting on the fence, doing political correctness, saying some people are doing too much. They complain too much. They criticize too much. This one too much, that one too much. Nigeria will happen to you. You are going to become us, and even worse, just a matter of time. So when they say they are, I believe him. Desperate time, they say, deserves desperate measures. If Tinubu and David is still walking about, and they know they don't have any plan of fixing Nigeria, they don't have the solution. Let me tell you something, just so it doesn't continue to sound like, you know what I mean, I am putting you on the edge, making you feel like it's a doom. Number one, if the way I am presenting this to you is sounding like, or if I am sounding like Nigeria is doomed, and everything about Nigeria is doomed, there's nothing anybody can do, it's already doomed. If I am sounding like that to you, Baba, you are right, too. But again, if you disagree with me, it's because you are seeing it differently. And I'm not going to dispute that. But there's something I want you to remember, okay? When my presentation sounds like Nigeria is doomed, which is true, that Nigeria is doomed when Nigeria continues in this trajectory, I am saying them by presenting to you evidence. Do you understand that? Tinubu is a doom. This doom started with Bokwari. Now, the trajectory of Bokwari that brought this division, brought this poverty, brought this insecurity and corruption, the trajectory is the same trajectory Tinubu is continuing. If you disagree with Bokwari and you are supporting Tinubu, you are a madman and a madwoman. So if I am sounding like it's a doom, it's because it is doom. You cannot say you agree that Bokwari failed and destroyed Nigeria, and then you are saying you believe Tinubu is going to fix it. You are a madman, Now, if your own trajectory is different, you need to present the evidence that is contrary. Because my own evidence is what you can easily lay your hands on right now. But your own evidence is likely going to be based on the theory of blame game, which is the trademark of APC. You cannot hate Buhari and begin to defend Tinubu. You are a mad person. And there's no apology for that. And if your theory of believing in Tinubu is that you agree that Buhari failed, and then you believe that Tinubu is doing something better, but your theory is about blaming what people have not done or what they didn't do or what they did as your theory of, well, Tinubu is going to be different. It should be given time. And you are just a wereton disguise, yo. Were the disguise. That's what they call it. Were in disguise in you. And you cannot deceive us. We know your game. Tinubu has no plan. There is none. Nothing like they are working on it. They are not working on anything. See, the situation is like this. Dollar has turned to 1,200 naira to $1. In 5 months, Nigeria naira lost 500 naira. In 5 months. And do you know that this decision to further destroy the Nigeria naira was taken by Tinubu because they had no plan. Number one, they said, subsidy is gone because they want to save money from it. But they did not tell you that oil theft is also gone because that wasn't. Then they brought back the subsidy because marketers are demanding for dollars. And because demand is high and supply is low, the exchange rate lost its value. That's what they told you based on their own announcement. But ladies and gentlemen, even though they told you, you are not spending naira, it's none of your business if naira and dollar increase. Before these criminals came in, Buhari said he was removing subsidy on some certain items. Because usually in Nigeria depends 90% on importation of everything they need to use in Nigeria every year. The past governments in Nigeria have failed to invest in the real and true infrastructure like electricity in the last 24 years. So if you wanted to import anything, you will need to go and buy dollars. So because of this, over the years, Nigeria government subsidized how much people who are marketers or traders would have access to dollars. That was when Nigeria had plenty dollars. And according to record, Nigeria had up to $15 billion in Nigeria Central Bank before APC Egbekegbe came in, which was so available that Nigeria could determine how much you are going to buy dollars. So if you go to the bank and your bank says $1 is 140 naira, and you go to the black market, your black market says $1 is 190 naira. As a businessman, which one would you go to? The bank, of course. But when APC Egbekegbe came in, they created what they call the round tripping. Okay? Then they now put embargo, remove subsidy on some certain items for traders who wanted to have access to the dollars. If you want to go and buy wheat, If they are selling dollars for 190 naira, you are going to have it for that same 190 naira. We are not going to sell it for you at 140 naira because we wanted to grow the wheat in Nigeria. Economic sense, Abi. Okay. If you want to be a rice supplier, okay, and instead of us selling a dollar to you at the rate of 140 naira to a dollar, go to the black market and buy it for 200 naira to a dollar, because we want people to grow the rice in Nigeria. We want to stop importation of rice. We want to create jobs in Nigeria. We want to combat food inflation in Nigeria. Economic sense, Abi. So they removed subsidy on those dollars. But they now create subsidy in another way, dollar subsidy, and it was called round tripping. For the other business items that they did not remove subsidy dollar, you see those who are businesses, whether your business is to go and bring something that had the dollar subsidy or had no dollar subsidy, nobody had access to the dollar anymore. They created the middlemen. People where they sell recharge card for Daura, they became overnight billionaires by becoming middlemen between Central Bank of Nigeria and the Nigerian banks and the Nigerian traders. Remember, to make Nigeria function and run well, 90% of what Nigerians need, they have to bring them out of Nigeria. And to bring them out of Nigeria, you need to change your naira to a dollar. Now, because you have nothing you are producing and your naira has no backing, the dollar will be the sale of the dollar will be determined by the owners of the dollar, not you with the owner of naira. But that gap was breached to reduce economic tension. That gap was breached by the central bank of the country until APC Egbekegbe came. When APC Egbekegbe came and created the middlemen, from that moment on, the demand for dollar and the scarcity of it created that market, a multi-billion dollars market for people who actually produces nothing or manufactured nothing, but just trading in currency. And just within a space of 8 years, APC, Egbekegbe, they emptied the regular billions of dollars that is domiciled in the Central Bank of Nigeria. They emptied everything on absolute nothing. They now enter the Nigerian foreign reserve from 34 billion US dollars. They enter that one, reduce it to $2 billion. The giant of Africa became the beggar of Africa, the Alimajiri of Africa. Everywhere Nigeria went, under these APC criminals, they were begging for money. And in a space of 8 years, ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria became one of the most indebted countries with nothing to actually show. And abandoned projects that are, goddamn, I mean, it's sad. So Tinubu and his gang, they know all of this. The economy took the hit. Everything you have to access in the market, the price is double or tripled or quadrupled or quintupled. Nigerian naira started going from 200 to 300 to 400 to 500 to 600 to 700 naira to a dollar. It became that bad that 143 million Nigerians are living in extreme multi-dimensional poverty. It's a badge of honor for this APC. Egbekegbe, Tinubu knows that. So what has changed in 5 months? Tinubu has removed their subsidy on rice. Everybody can now go and buy dollar. They don't get dollar to give anybody. So the demand for that dollar has now gone out of the roof. They call it floating the naira. The naira is now floating here and there. And remember, these guys printed 27 trillion naira. Do you know how much that is in dollars? $61 billion. If you change that money, where is the money in Nigeria economy? Where is the money in your economy today? Apart from the one they borrowed, Nigeria is now indebted to the tune of over $150 billion. And they are still printing money. Yes, they are still printing money. So in 5 months, Nigeria naira has gone from 700 naira to $1 to 1,200 naira to $1. The pound sterling to Nigeria naira has gone from 850 naira to a pound, and it is now over 1,439 naira to a pound sterling in 5 months. So tell me, where are you getting the idea from when Tinubu says you should just have a patience, we should just give him his time? Or you are looking for people that you are going to blame for all of this? Are you not asking yourself, where is the money going, by the way? All of this money that are developing wings. Tinubu want to come and rescue you. Those of you who be the mumus where they believe them all. Person who won't come rescue you decided to go and borrow $1.2 billion, and they won't share them to poor people. But if you don't get BVN, if you don't get NIN, you don't go collect. So which means you need BVN, NIN to get the access to it. And the majority of the poor people, according to them, they said 90% of poor Nigerians have no access, they don't have bank accounts. No person who gets more money, they get bank accounts. Which bank account? Anyway, they are giving conditions on how they were borrowing money and they are going to share the money. Same way Bokwari was sharing 500 billion naira every year to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty. They've dipped many of them and generations into a generational poverty. So where is the idea? And where is the idea coming from? Tinubu is going to fix Nigeria. You are like, where is it coming from? So you may be looking for where is the money going. Somebody is going to always tell us where the money is going, remember? Somebody's going to be telling us. They are planning to print another 26 trillion naira for 2024 budget. 26 trillion naira. That's what they are planning to print. And do you know how APC ruined Nigeria completely as well? Okay, I'll tell you this one. In 2015, right, they discovered that they stole some certain amount of crude oil from Nigeria. Those who are stealing Nigerian crude oil. And somehow the crude oil was found in China. Okay? And around that time was the time APC, Egbekegbe, came in. So they took over the investigation. Abubakar Malamu, the former Attorney General of Nigeria, you may call him Attorney General, criminal. Malamu, you know what he did? He constituted a committee where NNPC in Nigeria was part of that. They decided to approach China, that China should just pay for the crude oil. Nigeria cannot take it back, but just pay for it. Guess what? $4.2 billion was paid to Nigeria for that stolen crude oil from China. In China. That money disappeared. The same NNPC was talking to a bank in, they call it African Exit and Import Bank, to borrow them $3 billion so that they could give the money to the oil marketers in Nigeria. The oil marketers will then use the money and make sure that the dollar to Nigeria naira naira to dollar will not get above 1,000 naira. Economists actually believe that they should allow Nigeria naira to lose its value. They say once Nigeria naira get to 1,000 or 1,005 or 2,000, at some point it will begin to come down. I want where the economists they kumagolo. They actually said that, you remember? But guess what? 4.2 or 4 point something billion US dollars all disappeared just like that. Malamu is currently enjoying his what do you call it? His second third wife, Buhari's daughter. You know, saying that Buhari's daughter Malamu marry as third wife. It's called consolidation of our relationship, cementing it. If I go to jail, instead of me becoming your son-in-law, I go become now you go become the father-in-law to ex-convict. So you don't marry Tifnu. So you don't marry Bokwari's daughter. Abi? I'll tell you that one. Somebody actually spoke about it, and they're asking that the same Kiari, that sold that crude oil, and that same Kiari sold NNPC. Nigeria NNPC is now a private company as you are watching this video. Now that same Kiari as we are talking now, is also trying to help Tinubu get some dollars, if they can get some dollars, so that they can try and stop the naira to dollar further crashing. Otibo, one of them be this, so I'll share it with you.
A patriotic call to leadership to do what is proper, right, and right. We're saying that you can't go borrowing. You can be increasing poverty by borrowing resources when you actually have as much as $4.8 billion. When you actually have as much as $4.8 billion somewhere. The essence of the press conference is to say to Mr. President, ask the NNPC Limited to produce and provide $4.8 billion that is supposed to be the proceeds of 48 million barrels of crude oil stored up in China and sold. It was stolen crude. So what we're doing is a patriotic effort, is in furtherance of a whistleblower policy, and we're saying that according to our law, that those who superintend our country must be responsible and responsive to our people. You can't, no nation will have as much as $4.8 billion and go borrowing $1.5 billion for palliative. That's what we're saying. And that's the essence of the press conference. The civil society and the Conference of Nigerian Political Parties are saying simply, pull our resources out from where those who stole our crude oil in China kept it, and employ it into making lives better for our people, bring it back home, and use it to develop our nation and make our infrastructures better, make our medical system better, make our roads better, and that's what we're saying.
So these are the questions people will ask. You get what I mean? But they are not far-fetched. They are in the private pocket of all these criminals who are still making decisions there. You know? Somebody said, Mayego, kudos to you. You know why I always kind of pick comments like that to respond to. Because sometimes I just feel like some people are just like deliberately or intentionally always want to tap that a very false line, a very, very untruthful line, okay? And this is one of them. Somebody is saying that kudos to me, that initially they were confused. They don't know where I belong. That they thought I believe that Nigeria can be fixed. And why was I not preaching referendum and all of that? You know, sometimes I also kind of take a break to believe that people who always make this kind of comments, they are making them out of from a position of, you know, sincerity sometimes, you know, ignorant questions. See, if you have been following Mayegun's Diary Political and you are watching my broadcast and you are telling me that you are doubting if I was preaching that Nigeria should be fixed, and why was I not preaching referendum and all of that? It is either you are being clever by half or being totally dishonest. But one thing is that I always give the benefit of doubt that people who say that sometimes they don't actually know me. But they may pretend to. But you will never be on Mayegun's Diary Political and for one broadcast and tell, Mayegun, this is your best broadcast. Now tonight, I believe that you actually, you are not for one Nigeria. You are reaching. Apart from the fact that it is actually insulting, okay, that in this 2023 is the time you just discovered, or tonight is when you just discovered that Mayegun is not talking about fixing Nigeria, or why are you not talking about, or I should be coming on Mayegun's Diary Political every night. Think about this one, mister. Let's assume that every time you turn on Mayegun's Diary Political, And everything you hear from Mayegun is that we must have a referendum, or we must have this or that, or without the detailed reasons why. Somebody who don't even understand what referendum means, somebody who don't understand the breakup of a country, what it means, or how it is done, somebody that is already programmed, socially programmed, to believe that if you're asking for referendum, you're asking for war. So how do you present such amazing idea to people who are programmed to see it as evil, if you don't really have to give context for why Nigeria will never work? Mayegun's Diary Politico teaches Nigerians the honest truth and the everyday happenings of why those who are still holding back, or those who are pledging or probably wanting to go and sacrifice their lives, hoping that they have something that will fix Nigeria. Mayegun's Diary Politico is always there to remind them that their efforts and everything is going to be for nothing. Because Nigeria, there's nothing like Nigeria is not working. Nigeria is not working for Nigerians, because that's exactly what they want it to be like. I have said that on Mayegun's Diary Politico several times. You are going to be the new person to tell me that it is only tonight you get convinced. Now tonight, I usually don't know where you belong. Show why, meaning. Sometimes you come a fury quick type. You understand? Mo they use our brain to type sometimes. So, Mr. Salako, ejama lori quick kato type ngba mi o. Ungbo Mayegun's Diary Politico. Why do you think all this agbado and all this one Nigerianist are telling me that I am trying to break up Nigeria or cause war? Why do you think they are here? So you come on Mayegun tonight and you say Mayegun kudos to you. You first praise me before you insult me. Let me that. You are looking for Mr. Consistency. Do you know where I get my credibility from? It's because I have been doing this for 10 years. And I've been very honest with it. I used to be a pro-Nigeria too. I used to believe that once people come together and they can get rid of their criminal leaders. And I use my own experience to teach millions of people right now, every month, to remind them that if their own love for Nigeria never expire because of the lies they are still being fed, they should wait for it. Because everyday action of these criminals will continue to remind you that you may think Nigeria is not working. You are wrong. Nigeria is working exactly the way they want Nigeria to be. And if you don't like the way it is right now, if they tell you referendum is war, they are also lying to you. If they tell you that having your own independent region is going to reduce Nigeria's size, it's not going to make the world respect Nigeria, they are lying to you. How do you give the context to people? You just come to them and tell them, break it up. Let's break everything. We must make sure. No, it doesn't work that. There are people who do it too. But Mayegun's Diary Politico, ask yourself why those who are real, responsible, exposed, and educated people, they sit for hours on Mayegun's Diary Politico. To listen to Mayegun. Do you not think that's the job I'm doing? The job of telling them or making them see why they should not contribute to the generation that will also believe that Nigeria will be great. With these criminals, Nigeria won't be any great. My insult me, Mr. Salako. So let me just consider that your statement as I've heard people who have told me, this is the man. I've never seen a Yoruba man that is this very honest. This is my first time of seeing a Yoruba Oloshinye. See, I've heard Igbos, my supposed Igbo brothers. They think they are praising me. Man, this Mayegun, I love this Mayegun, man. This Mayegun is the first Yoruba man that I am seeing that is so honest, that is not biased, that is not tribal, that is not this or that. We renew you, the mad. Now, the bigotry inside you, they talk. No, they use that kind of thing, praise me. Because you know you have seen more and many, many Yorubas who have stood their ground against all the nonsense going on in Nigeria, despite their own people being part of it. So if you look at me and you say, this Mayegun is the first, you are a mad person, you're mad. I'm not the first Yoruba, and it is the bigotry in you. So people don't say all those things as I'm praising. You're not praising me. You're just telling us about yourself. Because if you know me very well, There are some statements you don't throw my way, thinking you are trying to praise me, you're trying to make me feel good. Here you understand? So they don't really go down well. So keep it. Keep it. I have told you, no hold me anything. Every time I come here, I remind you, you know they hold me anything. When people say, Mayegun, I respect you so much. Mayegun, I love you. Mayegun, I say, thank you. Thank you. But you don't hold me anything. You don't. You have nothing. You owe me nothing. But I appreciate those who say, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, give the genuine love and support. I love that. I enjoy, I appreciate every bit of it. But if not tomorrow you say, you don't like me again, I will just say, no, wahala, baba. Say you get, you don't lose anything. Take them back. Because you will not be the reason why I would have to hold back from telling you what I think you should know. You know what I mean? So Mokuna, they keep all that kind of comments. If you are new, you don't know me, you don't know Mayegun before, you just came across Mayegun, that is okay, that's fine. And it is that benefit of the doubt that I'm actually using for Mr. Salako did that. But if Mr. Salako said he knows me and he's been doubting me, Mr. Salako, I might try Remo. But going forward, I'll take a use break. Somebody was talking about Nigeria. I want to take us tonight, by the way, but we'll start with this one. Then we're going to go to the next one. I just want to take a break.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, ẹgbẹ́ kínní ìwà èmi lọ́kàn. Yes, I'm a president. Ṣé n tọ́kàn yìí náà lélẹ́yìí? Ẹ ń sọ níjọ́ rẹ̀ yín àfáà. Ẹ kó tí a jáde. Ẹ kó Kùránì jáde. Wọ́n kó débẹ̀. Ẹ débẹ̀ tán. My president, mi sorry láti sọ, ẹ ti sọra yín di wàhálà fún gbogbo Nàìjíríà. Ẹ sọra yín di wàhálà, ẹ ti sọra yín di ẹkún. Wallahi tallahi rabbul kaaba. In anybody rò kọ́ ni wọ́n bá lọ́dọ̀ yín. Èmi tẹ́mi ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, mo kọ̀mándì àti ìyàwó àtọmọ àti gbogbo ọmọ kí omi pátá. Pé Tinubu ni ẹ tẹ̀ka fún. Tá a bá mọ̀ pé ní ìdààmú àti ìfòòró lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wá sí, ta ni ó tẹ̀ka fún yín? Báàgì ráìsì di 55,000. Lórí pẹ̀lẹ́ ẹ̀yọ oxygen, bí oxygen lẹ́sìn pè ní. Àmọ́ ọkọ̀ abú tẹ̀ ń sọ. Epo di 600. Àwọn wèrè kan ní ká ṣe sùúrù di oṣù mẹ́fà. Ṣé ẹ̀fẹ̀ mọ̀ pé tó bá bàjẹ́ láàrin oṣù kan, èèyàn lè mọ́ nílẹ̀ bá máa ti kú láyé. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Èèyàn lè máa lè bá mọ́. And it is true. Reality will begin to set in for everybody. And it is not a case of being mocked. It don't happen already. And now, so for Mr. Salako, see, you can disagree with me. You are welcome. I said that, I always say that all the time. But I like people who are good enough to, I ask people all the time, I said, when I open the line, call in. Don't, call in and pick up the phone and say, well, Mayegun, I have my own view. And you shouldn't be surprised anyway. I've had APC and people who don't agree with me. They've called onto the program respectfully. But now when you begin the movement, for example, if you call me now, that you disagree and then you're not presenting any alternative facts, or they blame people, they blame point fingers and all that. And then I'm trying to tell you that, Baba, you are not giving us facts, you are just blaming other people. So if you can't move mad, Baba, you may go on this side, everybody, Mr. Salako. So don't worry. Nobody is worshipping Mayegun or Mayegun's diary political. People just don't like stupid people to come and feel important on Mayegun's diary political. Do you understand? People who are like naturally, you know what I mean, Mr. Salako, right? People who are like naturally stupid. They can't sound like they be intelligent people on Mayegun's diary. So my brethren don't like that. Okay? So they will come for that person. But nobody say that they worship, if Mayegun self misbehave. Me, me will be say, I be the Jew of the temple. Even me, I know the unwritten code, unwritten rule. You don't get it. People are not saying that Mayegun is a saint. Mayegun knows it all. In fact, people knows that Mayegun doesn't know it all. And the way Mayegun express himself, right, is just based on what Mayegun knows. And if you have anything contrary, please present that and make it kind of, conversational and all that. They know say even me Mayegun, I know say if I don't do am well, for example, where I go out of my way, can't they do anyhow, I go collect. So that is why you don't come here and talk to the GO. And you know go see all of the brethren telling you, say, they mad in the eh? Well, you get what I mean. So, Mr. Salako, thank you very much for that kudos, okay? The rest of the message, we have to scratch that out. You get them? Now, somebody is talking about the state of Nigeria while speaking to Sheung. This is a long watch, okay? And I'm going to take that as my own break. After that, we may begin to take calls if we still have the time. Don't go anywhere. Meanwhile, we are very much on the platform tonight, especially on Facebook and YouTube. I know those of you on Facebook, you are likely not even allowed to share the broadcast or even comment. But try and like it and see if that works, okay? So my people on YouTube, we are currently over 3,300 of us, as I can see. Now, if you haven't really paid your own offering, do so now while we take this mini break, okay? Now, listen to this. Somebody reacting to Tinubu's scandal and what is ahead.
It is in order. Now, the issue of certificates has a very important significance. I don't know how much we are ready to look at this issue, because a lot of the discussions I have listened to or I've read about tend to be very superficial. Let me say three things very quickly. One, the fact that we are arguing about certificates speaks to the quality of the people we have, or lack of it, as it were, in politics. We should be able at this level to have people whose records are so very straight that you do not need to get engaged in this. There are bigger issues that should engage this country. I've tried always to make this point, that this country already has 20 million children out of formal school system. God knows the number of people that have finished school and they cannot find jobs. We have a country of 220 million people today, but in another just 7 years down the line, we're going to grow up to 300 million. In 2050, which is not too far away, we have young people. In 25 years or thereabouts, we expect this country to be well over 400 million in population, which will make it the third country after India and China. What I expect politicians to be discussing, how do you provide the infrastructure for this population? How do you provide food? How do you provide education, healthcare, jobs? Because that is what is going to make the country great. That's what's going to make the country stable. That's what's going to make the country peaceful. If you can't, you are going to go into the kind of conflict that we are beginning to see, or that we have seen for the last 1 decade or so. So the point is, it's very sad. It's a very sad commentary that our politicians are, or the kind of people that we have in politics that eventually, get into positions of power, are people whose qualifications are doubted. Now that speaks a lot of volumes about the fact that of the quality of leadership we're going to get. The second point is that when it comes to, if you like, the political culture that we run has somehow accepted these things as norm. Because I would expect that the party itself should have done sufficient screening in its candidate before they even get to the point of being contesting for election.
Oh, one will also imagine that these names are submitted to INEC. Does INEC do a check?
Okay.
Does the party
I'm coming to INEC
in the first place?
I'm coming to INEC, but before they even go to INEC, they come through a political party. And a political party should have values. If they have values of integrity, then that name could not have come through.
Political parties screen their candidates. So you wonder what exactly did they do when
we have to. We do that. I was secretary of a political party, as you might remember. And we have to go through that for every election. And so it means that is the failure of the party. And then we come to INEC, which is even independent. Even if the party decides to be selfish, if that's the word to use. At least the INEC being an independent, I mean, I emphasize the independence there. They should be able to carry out a due diligence and confirm, check and recheck. And so you can see the failure of the institution at the party level, the failure of the institution at INEC level. And
in the time of poverty like this, the economic principle of Yusuf is what everybody should apply in his own lives. Eat little, save more. You don't know what is happening. $1 was just 800 naira or thereabout a couple of months ago. Now $1 is over 1,000 naira. How much will it go? Nobody knows. Torito and say falafulu. Ogba salary week lawa. Igberaga week. Or bera recently light. Eat little and save more. Aye tan je chicken kola wayima. Aye shawama koma. Aye ice cream ko. Mugari. Jack mama, bagbe tan doctor sọ pé kò ní nutritional value. Kí ló kẹ́ nutritional value pẹ̀lú kíni? Jack mama, mugari, orí ẹja.
That is called Tinubunomics. Mugari, jẹ orí ẹja. Okay? Because the situation called ó ti dojú ẹ̀ sẹ́yìn. And you can pretend, everybody only pretend, all of us we pretend, say we do okay, or they drink my Gary. Even if you see Gary, the situation don't enter, it don't enter G. I mean, it's unfortunate, it is what it is. Because from that same money that all of you they look for, last week, now wedding they were doing in Kano. This this week. Now, scholarship for those who are going abroad to go and study. And have you seen this video where Kwakwanso they share dollar? Now, public money in the share as a gift to Kwakwanso and the governor of Kano. Have you seen this? Okay. You've given them scholarship. You have secured their transportation. They've given them the air ticket. But when it came to the point of giving them their travel allowance or something like that, they decided to withdraw that and put it in an envelope with the printed picture of the governor and the rest of them, and they have to share that $100. And then they make a video of that public money and all that. It's Nigerian thing, The system that got them this, the system that selected them for the scholarship did not select the money with it. So they have to some said, no, he's just giving that to them from his pocket. Thank you, Kwakwansop. $100 to the 1,200. So $100 is around 120,000 naira. Thank you, Kwakwansop, because that's what the situation has become. But this guy is not feeling the same thing. Have you seen this video of when Nigeria just suddenly happened to you and you're just like, what am I going to do?
Zenith Bank in Ikeja, at our way. This Zenith Bank, this guy ATM. We came here to use this ATM at night. And this Zenith Bank at Ikeja, our way. This is our way. This is our way. This Zenith Bank here. They are thieves. This Zenith Bank. Zenith Bank, they are thieves. Look at, we came here to use their ATM at night. Our GTB ATM, we came here to use the ATM. Come. We came here to use their ATM, and the ATM, please, is it possible? The ATM swallowed his card. The ATM swallowed his card. After they swallowed his card, the card refused to come out. He was standing here like 30 minutes. The card refused to come out. After that 30 minutes, they started withdrawing all the money in his account. He was trying to block the account, but the account was not able to block. The ATM has still not come out till now. The ATM is still inside Zenith Bank. It's still inside Zenith Bank machine. The ATM has not come out, and they have successfully withdrawn 1.7 million from his account. Can you imagine what kind of country is this one? Zenith Bank or GTB Bank? You people are thieves. See, just in this place, just in this place, this Zenith Bank at Ikeja, they are thieves. They are thieves that are working for them. All of them, they are thieves.
Many people are in the bank because many people are dying. Everything are doing.
So it can happen to anyone. They will tell you. Then who do you run to? Well, if she's lucky, if they are lucky, you see, a caring partner, she couldn't believe it or imagine it. In this Nigeria, somebody's 1.7 million was taken from his bank, and he's just like, what should I do? Go and write email to @kiniko@kiniko.gtb. So he will start the journey. And you know the story anyway. It is what Nigeria has become. Obaseki reminded us a few days ago that
I know as a governor the pain that we are all going through, the suffering in the land. But unlike you, because I understand how economy works, I saw it ahead of time, and I have been shouting since I became governor that the way we are going, the kind of decisions many of us politicians are making, the way we are going about Nigeria is only going to bring about hardship. Nigeria was never like this before. God, in his infinite mercy, has endowed Nigeria like no other country in the world. Most of us leaders don't act like Christians. And that is been my pain and fight. If you are a leader and you are not ready to give of yourself, you think that leadership is about how much you can get, how much you can take for yourself, then I'm sorry, it's between you and God.
Anticipo, anticete, ati paro tipe, anticete, tito, dimo, do, simo, anticete, kagbe de falare, anticete, kagbe bi falare, anticete, adájọ́ paro torí owó, anticete, òṣèlú paro torí ipò, anticete, èdò gbówó mìíràn, anticete, ìjàngára.
I have a caller. Hello there.
Hello, Michael.
Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, hi, ma'am. Sorry, I didn't pick that easily. Is that Sham?
Yes, it's Sham.
It is Sham. How are you doing tonight, ma'am?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm okay. How are you?
Very well, very well. Thanks for asking.
How was the holiday?
Oh, it's so wonderful, right? I mean, I wish I could probably tell everyone how it went, but the kids were they so enjoyed it. I'm going to be doing that, by the way. Now I feel like I should be doing that.
Oh, you should. You have to. You definitely have to take the kids out, unless they're going to feel like
they were like they are both like out of their shells, right? They have so much engagement. I mean, so many engagements weekly here, right? Every day, like normal, right? But going out of the old place, driving down and mixing with other kids who also travel from far and near, and entertainment every day is amazing. I love it.
Yes, and then you have to. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and then you have to come back to the.
Then I have to come back to this one hour. Daily struggle. You know something, right? We went to a place where it was a luxury, right? To get H on your network. That's H. I don't know what it means, right? But if you are lucky enough to see 4G, even without any bar, it was like a miracle. So I completely zoned off. Maybe not completely sharp, but yeah, I'm back. And here we are again.
To be honest,
like I never left.
To be honest, sometimes it is good to just zone out, you know, and just
I think it's
fully present with your family, you know. Seriously. It's good that way. Anyway, let me get on, because I'm sure there are many people who want to call in.
Thank you. Right? Yeah, go on, please.
So just a couple of things, right? You know, we all appreciate you very, very much on this in this Temple of Truth.
I do.
Right?
Yes.
Now, I don't know who this Salako person is from anywhere. And to be honest, I try my best not to engage on this chat sometimes. Yeah.
Me too. I do my best not to, but sometimes once in a while, when I pick it like that, I'm like, okay, breathe in, breathe out.
See, listen, there are a lot of,
then react.
Don't get me wrong. There are a lot of intelligent people in the temple.
That's right.
And you can have meaningful conversations in the chat group, or sometimes you just really don't want to engage, right? Now, I just want you to give this person the benefits of the doubt that maybe he has never come across, you know, a Yoruba person who comes across as level-headed and stuff like that. Just give those kind of people the benefit of
doubt,
right? Benefit of the doubt that, okay, maybe they haven't ever come across such a person, you know, and everything, and hope that, and you know, let's be thankful that your forum is the kind of forum that allows them to see the other side. And I say that because I grew up in Lagos, right? And I went to university in Jos. And what we always heard all the time was that, you know, how Hausa people were not very intelligent and stuff like that. Most of us grew up thinking that they never really wanted to
was common, yeah.
Exactly. So we went to university, and then we saw lots of intelligent Hausa people, you know, they were all in school in our departments with us, you know, things like that. So
competing with everyone, you know?
Competing with everyone, you know, even doing better than most people. So the point is that sometimes you have to, maybe people haven't had that level of exposure and that, you know, experience of meeting other people. Right. Because, like, you know, Nigeria is a very diverse, massive country, right? So if I didn't go to Plateau State, which is where I went to school, I probably wouldn't have encountered a lot of people, and I'd have gone on thinking, oh, okay, the smartest people in the world are the Southern Yorubas and Igbos and Dini people and things like that, you know, that the Northerners don't want to go to school. So why I'm just saying this is just give the person the benefit of the doubt.
You know, I mean, I've thought about it myself, right? Because sometimes, okay, you know, sometimes when people actually outrightly just say some insulting things to me like that, I have discovered that instead of having to, you know, kind of get so dirty right away, I could actually use that like a brick, you know, thrown at me that I could build that as well. Then come fire back afterward, you know.
And use it to build foundation.
Yeah, now, you know, I get your drift. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, now going to what you've shown us so far. I actually watched yesterday's show before joining today's one, and I think what it has highlighted, and I keep saying to you that Tinubu's government is a gift that keeps on giving. Right. And I think with social media, right, a lot of things are now being brought to people's attention, just so that in case you want to bury your head in the sand that you're not aware that these things are going on, or such and such is the situation of our country. Now you we don't have any excuse.
No, you don't.
Right? This Sheikh Gumi or whoever that man is, it is clear. It is very clear that some people are still living in a how do I put it, in a world where Nigeria consists of the North and its subjects. We, the infidels, being the subjects, right?
I mean, I wonder why people didn't even pick that up. that somebody called the Southerners infidel, and it has become something that has been recurring and recurring. It has become something that they just say, and it's nothing.
Exactly.
In Nigeria.
Exactly. So in a country where we are supposed to be one Nigeria, in quote and unquote, in one Nigeria, you are calling your fellow Nigerian an infidel who is not good enough to govern you. And you know, like when I listen to, when I hear things like that, it makes it clear why, you know, the breakup of Nigeria will be imminent if nothing is done to, you know, curtail the excesses of this kind of people, because this kind of person is the kind of person that you need to bring to book and say, you know what, you are fomenting trouble, you are doing such and such against the country of Nigeria, so we don't want your type, and they throw him away in prison. But that's never going to happen. So this kind of, that's why I said that this Tinubu's government, as bad as it is showing us who the criminals are. And bear in mind that all of this is going on. I haven't heard any of these so-called famous pastors and pastoresses and owners of churches and things like that who have come out to pastorpreneurs who have come out to actually say, oh, you know, we're against such and such. You hear this kind of thing. This is not the first place they would have seen somebody like Shigumi talking, but this is when people like that take the podium and say,
now peace, then they preach. They are preaching peace. We should be very careful. We need peace in this country. All of us need to come together and pray for this country. They couldn't speak. They are scared of the violence that these guys represent.
They're scared of the violence that is going to meet us, because just like what the last video you played of the northerner, and that's what I say, the northerner, who I'm sure is a fellow Muslim, right? And I'm saying to myself, this man is so intelligent. He's a northerner. He's a Muslim. Why isn't he speaking to his northern brothers to let them understand the situation that we are in right now? But anyway, let's pack that one aside. So we don't have anybody speaking against people like this so-called Shigumi, to call him to order and say, you don't speak to your fellow Nigerians that way. This is where the question about whether or not we should be one country should start coming in. Because if these people are saying that Abuja belongs to them and it is a Muslim state and that, then we can also claim, okay, this is a southern state and you people don't have any rights in our state. Then again, like I said, the breakup of the country becomes imminent, either quietly or violently. That's what's going to happen. If you still have people like this who are speaking this way in 2023.
Yes.
You know, so you know, I mean, I really don't know. I really don't have too much to add to that. But I mean,
you've actually opened a vista on that conversation. You are very, very clear. In a country where somebody feels comfortable to call other people because of their not association with his own belief, and they call them infidel, that are not in any way qualified to lead them. In a country that is supposed to be one country and all people under God be, the breakup is imminent, and we can pretend about it for now. Yeah, we can all pretend if you want.
Exactly, we can pretend about it. And see, that man gave a solid analysis. All of this, we're all talking about palliative. That word palliative has started, you know, it started when people talk about palliative, I start getting irritated, almost like throwing up. As if all you're doing is sharing money. You're not talking about how to make money, how to make your country productive and things like that. You're just sharing money. Palliative. When every time I hear palliative, I want to use a stone to stone the person that's talking about palliative, because I'm sick and tired of palliatives. I don't know when that became a thing in our country.
A lot of us are going to be sick and tired of a lot of things, my shaman, right? And that is why we have this Mayegun's diary political. One day, a lot of us will be tired of so many things at the same time, and that day will be that day. You know.
I think we're getting there. I think I don't know if we're going to, I think we're very, very close. Either to resolve, no, they're pushing us either to resolving the problem of Nigeria or separating and becoming our own individual entities, so that the Muslims who want to be ruled by Muslims and Muslims alone can rule themselves. They can have their own space. And then the Midwesterners, the middle belters, sorry, I said Midwestern, middle belters, you know, and you'll be surprised that the people of Abuja will then rise up and say, you know what, we're not part of the North. Just the same way, political people will tell you clearly that they are not Northerners, they are not Hausas, they are middle belt, and they will stand with their full chest.
That's right.
So you find that the whole North will become like a, but if that is what they want, fair enough, they can rule themselves.
So we should do that instead of us being classified as infidel in a supposed country. So if I say I don't belong to a country I'm referred to as an infidel, would I be wrong, Sham?
Oh, Exactly. I don't want to become, and I don't want to give birth to children who will be in a country and be referred to as infidels and treated as not even second-class citizens, third-class citizens in their own country.
Yeah.
You know, that is not right. And
so
again,
would we be wrong if we say we don't want to be part of that country?
Of course, we will not be wrong. We'll be right, and we should be in our every right. Go to the highest court or wherever, United Nations. Although, to be honest, I don't believe in wherever it's going to take. I really don't believe in all these external organizations. I don't trust them. But we should be able to say to the highest place that we want our own separate country from anyone who wants to refer to us as infidels, and we should be right to do so. Okay, and let me go before I.
No, it's all right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay, and you are welcome. I have another caller on the line. I bet the line is quite jammy, by the way. So hello there.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, ma. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I'm glad I'm able to talk to you tonight.
I am
well
happy
done.
that you did, ma'am. Please.
Well done. How are you?
I'm very well.
Coming back
Thanks
from
so much,
holiday.
Thanks, ma'am.
Osumi, I'm telling you. Osumi, one thing tí ó ń bà mí lẹ́rù ni pé tí wọ́n bá tiẹ̀ dẹ̀ gbé gbogbo àṣírí Tinubu jáde, what is he going to resign? Wọ́n máa ń lo ìgbójú ní Nàìjíríà. Wọ́n máa ń lo ìgbójú. Look at US tó ń bá man yìí fà. Look at UK tó ń gbé Boris Johnson jáde. They will resign honorably, but Nigeria ò ní resign. Tinubu kò ní agbárí wọn ní nǹkan.
That's why people are now saying, ma. That's why people are thinking that would the FBI fair release, would that prompt people to eventually chase them out? Or would that trigger anything? Or there will be nothing? Well, I can't really answer.
Resign, kò ní kúrò ńbẹ̀ because nǹkan tó fẹ́ jẹ. Wọ́n máa lo ìgbójú ni wọ́n ní kò really matter, kò really mean, kò ṣe kinní kan.
Okay, everybody. Supreme Court Supreme Court decide. Supreme Court bá sọ pé no case. Whatever FBI bá sọ, no case náà ní Nigeria, but there is more.
But can he go abroad láti lọ máa ṣe gbogbo meeting tó ń ṣe yẹn, because mi rò pé wọ́n máa honour ẹ̀.
He can, but disgrace náà ló máa bá náà ni. Bí ká máa record báwọn kan ṣe avoid there, all that stuff. So àwọn kan tó máa live pẹ̀lú nìyẹn.
Ó sú mi, because I love to hear your program all the time. Tó jẹ́ pé ó máa ń múyàn mọ́lẹ̀ pé what is going on? How can we go about this? Look at this, àwọn tó tún pè pé kán tún wá lọ ṣe ní Supreme Court yìí nsìn. Look at that. Àwọn tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n wà nínú ọmọ woman yẹn, I'm glad òun ti kúrò ńbẹ̀. Ẹn tó yẹ kó ti kúrò ńbẹ̀, tó yẹ kó ti retire, ẹ tún gbé yẹn síbẹ̀, ẹ tètè fẹ́ ṣe. Oh my God. I don't know which one.
And that's why they said that social media is a problem. This is the only place social media is a place that you'll be able to have access to all the information dropping on your laps. So if anybody is lying to you about something, you'll be looking at evidence and you'll be looking at what they are saying, and you realize that so at that point, you begin to ask questions, and they won't be question. Don't ask questions. Once you saw, just take it. They know what they are doing. Just leave us. Don't ask anything.
Democracy is about you, about the people. It's not about you that is leading the people. It's about doing what the people wants you to do. Let's make more comfortable. In UK, the tax I pay in UK, they use it for me. They use it for everything that I need.
Yes.
I have free medical. Even though I pay tax on everything, I can see where they use it for. And if I'm not satisfied, I can ask, why are you not doing this for me? Why you not? Pension in UK, you will get your pension wherever you are.
That's right.
My dad died not getting his pension as a headmaster. Go back pension, couple. He will go from Abeokuta to Lagos. I will give him money to. At a time, I said, don't go anywhere. Hello, ni pension. No, you will spend the money for the pension. Kakiri, and you still not getting the money. Where are we going? Everywhere. I'm tired. I'm tired. Well done, Mayegun. Well done. I so much love your program. I love it. Because if everybody in Nigeria, if we can just listen and listen to what is going on, then we can make up our mind. But some of them, even I still have friends. Some are saying, Oshimada, Wukilon Dambe. You see this man, you see them using our money, using this money that I saw one primary school. Tó ti wó tán tí máa nǹkan pariwo ń bẹ̀ pé kán wo ibi tí àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké yìí ti fẹ́ kàwé àwọn children greater tomorrow. Tí wọn ò lè lọ sí school, àwọn ọmọ tí wọ́n dẹ̀ wà ní UK ń bí, wọ́n wá ń ṣe graduation, wọ́n ń ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ fún wọn bí àwọn ọmọ tó yẹ kó tọ́jú ní Nàìjíríà. I'll just leave it. I thank you. Thank you so very much. More grease to your elbow. Amen. I love your program. Thank you. And say hello to Agbeke and Akin and the little girl.
And
they are so beautiful.
Yewande rather. Thank you, ma.
Yewande, so beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you.
Stay safe, ma.
Well done.
God bless you too. That's a good one there. The same guy that is telling Nigeria. Sorry, my caller. 1 second. Sorry, in Nigeria, they are telling people that they will need to sacrifice because Nigeria has no money. The same guy spent over $500,000 or so. Yeah, nearly $500,000 For how long ago? For just 6 days in New York. That brought nothing back to Nigeria. In Nigeria, they have a car manufacturing company called Inonso Motor. Now, Inonso vehicles, Inonso Motor, right? From 10 years ago, are you listening? They were producing about, let's say, about 100, 200 cars every year. Now, in the space of 10 years, this is also cars, right? They said they are now producing more than, 1,000 or more cars from their plants every year, which means the people who put together 56 billion to go and buy Toyota SUV car, Land Cruiser, for their lawmakers, that money has been paid straight to Japan. Abi, who they make Toyota? Japan, Abi. The money went straight to Japan. It didn't stay in Nigeria. So they have no plan of, helping anybody or any economy. Now, their own actions will tell you what I am telling you now, not what you make up and believe that you just make them up. Alternative word. Are you there? Hello.
Yes, Uncle Mayegun's Beatrice, London.
Oh, my darling, my lady. Good evening, ma. Lady Beatrice.
Brother.
How are you, ma?
Welcome from your holidays. I saw your children and wife looking so pretty.
Thank you.
It's good that you're giving them some time, even though you are fighting for Nigeria.
I know, it's worth it.
It's really worth it.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you. I even commented on where I saw that picture.
Oh, on Facebook, yeah? That was me and you and
Yeah.
You could tell they really enjoyed that.
Your son looks so much like you.
I know. They all do, by the way, if you see them anyway. But,
exactly.
Thank you, ma.
Yeah, coming to our problem in Nigeria. Every real Nigerian who said this problem is not making them sick, they are not being honest.
They are not.
They are not being honest, because you don't really know which way to go. And these people we are dealing with us have no single conscience.
They don't have any.
No conscience. They see people dying in hospitals, dying. People are just dropping and dying because of hunger. If some people I know will call me and say, "Mommy, we have not eaten for 3 days." How many people can I support?
How many?
And the system we have, the money God gave us naturally, they can even pay each human being that is at least from the age of 18, even 100,000 every month, whether you are working or you are not working, to keep them going. These people, the money they are sharing within themselves in billions. And we hear it, and they don't want you to talk about it. I was thinking about all this, and I said, don't you think that there should be exodus? There should be the exodus of Igbos. There should be the exodus of the part of Yorubas that don't want to be Nigerian. We all embark to where we belong. And every natural resources we have there, Nigeria cannot touch it. No. And whatever the nation will be called, I don't care. I don't want to start calling Biafra. It could be something else. But there should be
let the people decide.
Let
the people choose. Even you know something, right? I keep telling people that for you to understand everyone, you want everyone to also understand you. You must build a template of accommodating whatever everyone wants. And if what all of us want, if they ask us to say what we want, then you can call that national conference or national dialogue. Now, even if what everybody wants is one Nigeria, I can put my own everything on the line. Nobody who wants one Nigeria to still be Nigeria will want this particular one. It's impossible. But whatever is going to be the decision, let the people choose. Why not?
I said the easiest way, without calling the name, is exodus.
You know?
Exit from where you are to where you came from. And whatever God has planted in the land where I belong, nobody from any other place can come there.
Not over it with me. No.
If we can do that, all these pipes, they are laying pipes, underlying pipes from the southeast down to US, down to America, and down to UK.
Trans-Sahara, transatlantic pipeline to take the crude oil.
Where they are not, the leaders who did all those things, they should be gathered in one room, and something should be thrown in there and let them
just smoke there. Exactly.
Because this is horrible. These people have no thing. Look, ordinarily watching television or watching internet, seeing your people, your children suffering, and these people have the guts. And then the vice president's wife went to America to deliver his child.
Did, though. She's still in America with all the Americans
there
right now.
And some of them, Dubai has become their second home.
That's right.
They forget that Dubai was made by the people there.
They forgot to.
Dubai is younger than Nigeria.
Their own transformation started from 1993, ma.
Yes. And look at what they've made of Dubai. And there were people with I don't know, I read on the news, or I heard on the news that the wife of the former president, I don't know how many billions they said she's owing, and that Wike has given them ultimatum to pay the amount. Some billions.
Hey, now she was living there for like a straight 2.5 years, ma'am, since COVID. She's been living there for free.
For free.
But there's nothing is free. That's what people should know. Somebody is going to pay the bill.
And we dare not say anything. If the people decide tomorrow, exodus, don't call it any name. Igbos, come back to where you belong.
That's right.
Don't give it any name. And then whatever belongs to the land of Igbo
belongs to the Igbos. It's as simple as that.
Except authorized by Igbo. If we can do that, exodus.
And the Igbos will have every right to defend themselves and their territorial integrity if anybody comes for them. Let the people decide.
I was 10 years old when the Biafran War fought.
Bless you.
My parents suffered with 8 children. Do you know that at the end of the day, when they now released, they gave everybody 20 pounds. I don't know what it was that time, but 20.
Just say 20 naira. Well, sometimes when we use that pounds, we make it look like it was a good money they gave back to people after the war. Just say 20 naira. I keep using 20 naira, not 20 pounds.
Family today live on 20 naira. My mother and my father came back to Lagos. My mother started doing bakery business, selling bread. Olumo Bakery at Lawansi. She was there. They will supply her on credit. She will sell and pay them.
And that is what I've been telling people, ma. Yeah, I said People that came back from that background, a
Yes.
background of almost nothing.
Nothing.
And they rebuilt themselves to what they have now become more or less like a threat to those who felt like they had everything at the time.
You know,
is that same people you are threatening with war again, and you think they will be afraid? Nigeria is making that mistake. Nigeria will not survive 2 civil war. Some people don't know that, man.
There should be no war. There should be what they call exodus. Exodus. Nobody will, Igbos, wherever they are in this world, move, go to Igbo land. Even if you are going to lie down the street of Igbo land, go there.
Go back there.
Leave everything you have in Lagos. Leave everything you have any part of Nigeria. Just go to Igbo land. And whatever that is coming from that axis, that is leaving that axis to give them the money they are squandering, will stop immediately. Because anybody trying to do it will meet fire for fire.
You know?
Because the money they are squandering is not coming from where they are. It's coming from the rivers, the Igbo, the Delta area. And the people that they are getting this money from, they are suffering in January. I think you should be talking about exodus. I'm interested in
You have started it as well. Just like everybody who has 1 or 2 messages to pass, like myself, we will never stop talking them. Yeah? Go on, man.
I was telling one boy, I said, my dear, I speak Yoruba more than you. We are the same. But if what these people are doing, you like it, when exodus comes, you'll be the one to suffer because you have nothing to hold on to.
Ways. I agree.
Everybody go their ways. Let me see where the money, you see, if you see how these people are rushing million in that place now, because they know that something will happen to this
like
guy.
The whole money is going out of fashion. This one 10 billion, that one 20 billion, that one 500 billion.
Because their plan is when the million no more there, they have already stolen enough. They are not doing any investment. They are collecting money from World Bank and all those.
They can get it from.
And they are just sharing it. Nobody, even if they share the whole thing, our resources will never dry.
They know that.
But
it's only our people's time and lives they will just waste away.
Of God. One man gave a prophecy. I'm still waiting for the answer to that prophecy. He said, it was TV Joshua. He said that every Nigerian that had contributed to the downfall of Nigeria, that Nigeria will become new, but that Nigerian will not see the new Nigeria. Then he warned, if your parents or your friends are taking part in destroying Nigeria, tell them to stop.
And they should remember this.
They should remember. So they are getting sick one by one.
Abi?
And Tim Joshua said before he died, he said, I am even praying that I should be alive to witness that day. He came and he finished his job and he left. But he gave that prophecy, and I'm waiting for that prophecy. Let me tell you, my brother.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know that one single small disease can swallow all the billions and still the person will die?
That's right. I mean, I said something like that yesterday, man. I said, the way they have destroyed Nigeria today, there are people who believe that they can still survive what Nigeria is because they have 1 or 2 things going on for them, right? But one single sickness can take all of that away. I know.
When it enters, nobody can cure it. They carry up and down, down and up.
The whole money will finish and the person will still die, of course.
Will still die.
Thank you so much,
man. For me, I want exodus. We are no longer interested
we will be including that now. It is going to be a huge exodus, and they will push all of us there. We're on that
Don't call the name of Exodus, Yoruba land Exodus, Igbo land Exodus. Let me see who is
the Arewa land should also get themselves ready, and the people of the middle belt as well, called the Kwara fans.
What God has planted on your own land belongs to where you belong.
It belongs to you.
Nobody comes for any other water to suck it.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Let me take another one, okay? Thank you very much.
You, my brother.
Always, Thanks so much for stopping by, okay? You have a good one, man. Now, that is it. You heard it, right? Sometimes there is power in the word, okay? As Lady Beatrice just said, if some words are triggering them, it's all right. We should add Exodus to it, okay? Let the people begin the mass exodus back to their indigenous people, back to where we all came from. And maybe that should be a bigger signal to everyone that believes that Nigeria is forever. It won't be the way they are running it. Just wait. And the old balkanization, the whole breaking apart, they will be done. I just hope I'll be alive to witness it. Okay? And it doesn't really matter. Sooner or later, on this trajectory, Baba, Nigeria won't last. I'll take another one. Hello there.
Hello.
Hey, hello, ma. I think I'm so lucky with the ladies tonight. How are you, ma?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you? How was the holiday?
Oh, it was great. You might need to mute that broadcast so that you and I can talk, or else it's going to be
yeah, I did that. I did that already. I've stopped that.
Great. So how are you tonight?
I'll stop it. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I've been trying to call long ago, but unfortunately, but we thank God today.
I'm happy.
You know,
go on, man.
Honestly, yeah, you know, all these things that has been happening in Nigeria. The thing is, I'm just sometimes I feel so concerned, like, oh, everybody, we've seen what is going on here and there. It's so obvious that this country is not working. It's so obvious that all these people, they're not ready to do anything up to make things better, you know. But there's no plan. It's so obvious. We can see how money is flowing within themselves here and there, billions. So, and the country is like that. So my concern is why people, masses, some of them, they don't really realize what we are saying. They don't get it. They still like, even when you talk, you can still see the comments like, oh, just leave her. Don't you see that is destroying the country. All sort of abusive words. Well, yeah, Mama said now, Madam British said, Exodus, movements, like everybody should just move to wherever we came from. Let's where we
indigenous
we should just do that. But these people we are talking about, are they ready to do that?
I don't think so.
We've been saying, see how you've been seeing all these things, and the way they act, as if the common sense is not there.
It is mostly I can't really pick up breaking, Melody, right? However, we are also winning because the more they make all these errors, even though it's not really a good thing on the people themselves. I'm talking about the consequences of all the actions of these people, right?
Yeah.
But on our own part, so many of us who chose to remain honest and open by alerting people of this danger. Like you said, they call us problem makers, troublemakers. Oh, you are the ones who is want to destroy Nigeria and all of that. But we are winning. So if you ask me how, I would say these criminals who are still doing what they are doing, what they are doing is that they are validating our position. And it is just a matter of time for those who are deceived by them to begin to see the deceit. And before you know it, wait for it.
We get there.
We will get there. It's you know what they say about living through the history, man. They said when you are living through history, it is always very slow. You know? But you see, when people are going to be talking about this time, let's say in another 20, 30 years, or talk about Nigeria in another 30, 40 years, they will just talk about it as if to say everything that all of us are going through now, especially in the last 24 years, they will talk talk about them as if to say they were just like, you know, in the year 2000. In the year 19, you know what I mean? But people don't die, destiny ruined, but people fought and they won.
Honestly,
we will win.
Honestly.
I believe.
Amen. I pray so. Because this thing is like the way things are back home is really serious. Today, Naira is 1,415.
Pound sterling.
Today, 1 pound, to 1 pound, 1,415. 115.
Who could have even imagined it? Even me, way that was talking about it going to 1,000, 1,000, right? Do you know that secretly I wasn't praying for that to happen? But who could have imagined that 5 months ago, Nigeria pound sterling will cross 1,000 naira?
1,000.
1,500 before Christmas. Christmas is not here yet. Oh.
Yes, Christmas is not here yet. This is so sad. I don't know. And everything there, because I always ask them, what is exactly that is working in Nigeria?
Did they tell you any?
I keep asking. No, even on this platform, I always ask. Somebody should just tell me what is it that is working.
That is working in
One
Nigeria.
thing that is working in back home. These strategies. I don't want anyone to see my strategy thing.
I cannot reveal the whole of my strategies here.
Strategy. Okay, Mr. Strategizer. But now, what has it done? Which strategy has it made that is working? That is making things better.
Lady, strategy. Tragedy, and is already claiming victims right now. No answer. There is no answer to all your questions. Since everything don't propose. But yeah,
it's sad.
It's just sad. People don't even know how this hot, how hurtful this thing is. They believe it's actually like when we laugh or they're like it's funny. It's not funny. We're talking about people's lives, people's livelihood, people's family, people's relationship, people's businesses. Yeah. They are taking hits.
You know these Agbadomites. You know them. Now, this thing is affecting them badly. Even the so-called elite. This thing is really affecting them. It's affecting their business.
Everybody.
But but they're living in denial, They're not really like, they can't really say it out like they regret, you understand? But they're like trying to cover up and saying one thing or the other. They're not ready to take responsibility anyway.
They are not ready. That's the point, man. They are not ready to take responsibility. They will tell you that you are criticizing them because of their choice. No, we are not criticizing you because of your choice. We are calling you now. I'm calling you out because you don't want to take responsibility for the consequences of your choice.
Yeah, the consequence of your choice. The consequences. What your choice? You made a choice. It's your choice to make a choice. The choice you made, the result, what that thing brought in is what we are talking about.
Exactly.
But I'm telling you,
well, thank you so much, Maya. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. Oh yeah, with regards to the family. Right.
Thank you, Ma. So that's another. I've been so lucky with ladies tonight. Sometimes I will spend weeks and I will not speak to one. Never lucky that much. Until tonight, I have spoken with 4 of them, and they have been so wonderful. And I love it when women actually share their views on conversations like this. Some of you don't even understand what that means. It means more women are investing their time in understanding the problem instead of being told to go and pray because they are so soft-minded. They don't like trouble. They just want everything to go away. Now, women who have been praying for Nigeria have realized that it's not because they don't know how to pray. It's because some men and their collaborative men are just wicked people who are ready to destroy the future of their own children, the generations unborn. Now, women knows better. We are not far from the freedom. Trust me, when they are involved, we are so close and we'll keep pushing. Sir, how are you? Hey, this caller has been trying so much to join me. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make sure that I get him back. Okay. Let's see if I can possibly just, hang on. Not so good. Okay. Sorry, my caller. I'm going to get this other caller back. Some people will be like, why don't you just call him back? So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Because he may never be that lucky in calling back. And I am going to call you back too. Because I've actually had to stop somebody else who was calling me. So yeah, I am calling you back if you get this. Hello.
Hello, my Baba.
Hello, sir. I am so sorry that I picked up your call And then I continued talking because I had to finish what I was saying, okay? So good that I got you back. So our time is almost done, so you have it there. Sir, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. It's been a while. I've been trying. Today. Yeah, my God. I'm happy you are back from the vacation, and I saw you with your family, and I'm so happy for you guys.
Thank you.
You know, we thank God for everything.
Thank you so much.
Now, Mayego, I remember sometimes ago before now, I told people that in some months to come, the naira is going to be $1,000 to $1. They said, "Oh,
you said it.
Why are you saying this? Why are you saying? Is it because you are Yoruba nation or what?" I said, "No, it's not
because your favorite candidate did not win. So you want Nigeria to become bad. And now they are gaslighting everybody."
I said, "No, this is not the matter of not being patriotic or something like that. We are telling you what is going to happen." Oh, no. Miloko is there now. Everything within 1 month.
Surprise all of us. It will shock us.
Surprise all of us. It will shock us. But now, look at the situation. They are now crying.
Shock now. It'll be like electric shock now.
And you said something, was it yesterday or is it yesterday or sometimes or today? You said by December, by Christmas time, a dollar is going to be 1,500. I told some people the same thing. They were like, "Oh, well, let us just keep praying. Praying to who?
No.
Praying to who?" And I just don't know when people will grow. When people will grow, when they will wake up from their slumber. Nigeria cannot get better.
Not this way.
With this kind of people.
No.
With this kind of people at the helm of affairs.
No.
It can get better.
It's impossible.
So the best thing is like what that woman just said. Exodus. Let everybody go their own way. Look at the situation sometimes ago in Kano. They had 180 people, or is it 100? I can't remember the figure. That they did marriage.
You are talking 100 they are a total of 420.
Mass wedding.
Yeah, that's right.
And they were given money. They were given everything. Including mattress and everything. In the north.
Yes.
When was the last time such a thing happened in the southern part of the country? Now they are sending their children for what's it called? The one that Concourse was doing a while ago.
And now that one is sponsorship, okay? It's scholarship, rather.
Sponsorship.
Yeah, scholarship
right? Scholarship to overseas to study.
Yeah, now.
With Nigerian money.
That's right.
Money from the southern part of the country.
And
these people are not even ashamed to do it openly. When was the last time such a thing happened in the southern part of the country? Now, Gumi is crying now that they are going to remove remove Wike at all costs.
Because it's already showing that Tinubu is going to be against Muslims. They are already seeing his actions. And that's why they don't trust Christians or infidels to be in charge of Nigeria.
They are the one that brings the issue of Muslim. Tinubu is a Muslim.
Shetima is a Muslim. Mumu ticket. Muslim ticket.
Mumu ticket. So, I mean,
you know what they did, sir? You know what they did? They sold Muslim tickets to those who bought the bobo. But they didn't, because these guys are not Muslims themselves. These are not real Muslims, okay? I mean, let's be honest. Okay? However, people who bought Muslim ticket thought they were joining because they are Muslims. No, you joined them because you be mumu. Now, mumu ticket, they sold them. Look at them today, everybody, they mumu around. Sir.
It's terrible. It's terrible. I mean, I hope it happens on our time. That they just divide this country. Let everybody go their own way. I hope it happens on our time.
We are getting there.
We will get
no amount of people they want to arrest or locked up, okay? The more they lock people up with this attitude and what they are doing, they will create even worse and worse aggressive people that are not going to be nice like this. They're not going to be diplomatic or talk about it like this. They will be blowing themselves up and blowing them up too. We are getting there.
And the last thing,
yes,
Mayegun, wherever Hundeyin is, if he's listening to this program, he should do all he can not to get caught by these people. He should do everything best possible.
It is so important.
Because they can go to any length, Mayegun.
And they can go to any length. A lot of people have advised David himself to find his way straight to the US. It will be safer
better for him.
But
it will be safer here. But how will he get here? That is another problem.
Exactly. So I kind of just feel like David knows better too. And like you said, he must do everything never to be caught. Because once you are caught,
never to be caught.
These cold-hearted criminals, they will keep him as a trophy.
They will. They will. They don't have mercy. Thank you, Mayegun. Thank you for calling me back. I really appreciate that.
God bless you, sir. I'm sorry that I had to miss you the first one. I saw the effort. It was like firing back and firing. Then I finally picked the call. Then I started talking. And I thought I could put him on hold. Then I lost him. So I'm glad I called him back. And I'm glad that he managed to have his own view to this conversation. So thank you so much to everybody who is still here with us. The night is fast spent. I am sorry that we didn't start at the right time. And somehow, it be like say we would have to call it a night now. We've had a wonderful... Hang on, let me take this. I had this caller. They have been trying to call me while I was trying to call back my last caller. So you are going to be my last caller tonight. Hello there.
Hello, Mayegun.
Hello, Ma. How are you?
I'm fine. My name is
so sorry that I had to keep putting you back because I wanted to get that other caller, but I'm glad that you're calling back too. So yeah, how you doing, man?
I'm so happy calling you, Mayegun. I've been listening to you right from when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu recommended you.
Thank you.
I'm so glad.
Thank you so much, man. Please.
Yeah, I don't normally call because I do night job. When you are doing your live program, I'll be sleeping. But once I start my work, I'll put my headphone and I'll listen to everything you are saying. So I'm not working tonight, and I persisted, and I'm glad I can hear and talk to you.
And you can actually
I'm calling from Gothenburg.
God bless you, man. Thank you so much for at least allowing me to also share your day off with you, like this.
Yeah, I'm glad, Mayegun.
Please, man.
Yeah. Mayegun, I'm so glad because when I started listening to you, I found out that you are not biased, and you always hit the nail at the head. And when I listen to what you say, I know I am satisfied for the day's news. You understand? And looking at what is happening in Nigeria, we are in trouble.
Yeah.
We are in big trouble. Like in Sweden, we use crown. Crown, like 2 months ago, was like 700 to 1 crown. Wow. But as at this night, it is 101.
Sorry, 1,001.
1,001. God bless you.
Are you serious?
So I was like,
hang on, because it's like we are paying too much attention to dollar, pounds, euro.
I'm telling you.
So other currencies are also taking a dig at naira.
I paid my niece's school fees last 2 months. When I paid 10,000 crown, it was 700.
Wow.
But as at this night, it is 1,100,000.
Hey.
I am not lying.
And you can't.
And when I look at what is happening, Mayegu, I cry for my people. I cry for my people. So like all the ladies said, what we need is to leave Nigeria. Everybody to your tent, O Israel. We are suffering. We are suffering. Even those abroad, we are suffering because you can't see your nieces, your nephews, your brothers calling you, Auntie, we have not eaten, or your sister will call you and say, do you know what is happening? And you keep quiet.
Because we all know what is happening anyway. So once they call us, we can't pretend not to.
You cannot pretend, Mayegu. No matter how bad things are for you, you can never pretend.
There's no way.
There's no way you can pretend. You can, no matter how small, you can dish out something. You can't just watch your nieces and nephews.
You know another
No,
thing,
it's not
man.
possible.
Yeah, you know another
It's
thing
not possible.
to put this in perspective for people, especially those of us
Honest.
who are abroad. You know, when people
Honestly.
in Nigeria, yeah, they will say, it's the prayer of you abroad that has been answered now. At least £1 is now 1,400. Now, to them, that's more money, but they have no idea what that inflation simply means. You just mentioned your own cousins, your nephews, their school fees now. I mean, could you remember what that used to actually cost you when Naira wasn't this bad? And what you now pay now, even when Naira is bad, how much more you pay from your own wallet too? Could you now compare the difference today?
The difference is much.
It's very much. But some people don't understand. They believe that because you are in the UK or you are in Sweden or you are in anywhere, all this Naira crashing, it no affects you. Meanwhile, the demand for support has quadrupled. I don't know about you, ma.
I'm both friends. Everybody is calling. Can you help in this? Cousins, can you help in? You cannot help everybody.
You can't.
You cannot. You have your own families. You have your own bills to pay. But at times when they call you, you cannot just sit down and watch people cry or watch people lament or watch people tell you they have not taken anything. Just like the other lady said, they have not eaten for 3 days. You can imagine. Even if you don't have, you have to use your credit card to send them money,
give them money,
which is very bad. It's not really helping. But what I say to Nigeria, in my language, I'm an Igbo, I say to our people, shame unto them. How can an illiterate be ruling all those professors? Why go to the university? Why suffer and read all the books, study, sleepless night and everything? And those people that call themselves professors will support a stark illiterate to be on that chair.
And they're keeping
How can they make that law?
They don't want to die?
I don't know. How can they make a law that a whole Nigerian should be governed with somebody with just primary school or secondary school certificates? How stupid can that be? I always, when I listen to you when I'm working. Sometimes I laugh, sometimes I cry, sometimes I say, oh my God, we are in a mess. We are in a mess. Because if I don't listen to you, I feel sick, honestly, my ego. Those days you are off. When I go to work, because you are my companion for at least the first 3 hours I work before I switch off. I can never miss my ego. No.
And all of that.
I can never.
God bless you.
I can never. Before I sleep, I'll just, when you notify me, I will like your program and then I'll sleep. Ready. When I wake up, I start, I'll listen.
God bless
you. I want to say, just continue doing what you are doing. You are turning so many souls, you don't know. Because when I started listening to you, the first week, the second week, I said, no, I know why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should recommend Mayegun. And Mayegun is doing a very good job. I'm so super proud of. I'm not a Yoruba, but I love you so much, Mayegun. I'm proud of you. May God bless you. May God keep you. May God continue to give you more wisdom. I am proud to associate with you, Mayegun.
Amen.
God
Thank
bless
you so much, ma. Stay safe and enjoy
you,
your break. I hope you are off tomorrow as well. But when are you going back tomorrow?
Mayegun, I'll work tomorrow, but I'll listen to you while working. I don't normally join live.
Right.
But any day I miss you, know that I'm sick. I'm telling you.
God bless
my children will say, Mommy, why are you listening to Mayegun? Are you even sleeping? I say, I'm not sleeping. I'm hearing Mayegun.
I am listening to him, so I'm not sleeping. I like that. So thank you so much for all of that, okay? And stay safe.
I'm proud of you. God bless you. More wisdom. I'm super proud of you, Mayegun.
Thank you. Good
Congratulations.
Thank you, ma. I love her, just like I love all the women. Somebody said that I have been so lucky tonight that all the calls I received, only one man actually is in the mix. That's so great. And all the women and their contribution as well are super great. So thank you to every one of you who attempted to call in, those who managed to call in. By the way, we have seen, we are so grateful to you. And everyone who has managed to share the broadcast and indeed contributed to this conversation in the comment section, because it's another word though. If you are on the Mayegun's Diary political comment section, especially on YouTube, where thousands of comments will come in or come through within 3 hours. It's so interesting. Wherever you have been part of this, thank you. whether you like me or you don't like me. Thank you still for listening to me and listening to all of us. Okay, we are meeting again, and that will be tomorrow. And I hope you don't want to miss that. Or like, what's it going to cost you? Subscribe, like, and share the broadcast. So when we meet again tomorrow, right, you won't miss anything. And meanwhile, to the brethren, thank you. If you joined us at midway, remember you can watch this broadcast from the beginning again. Okay. And if you are those who don't, the type that doesn't like all the music and all of that, I promise you, once you start watching Mayegun's Diary Political full video on replay, just fast forward to about 7 minutes into the video. You won't have to worry about music. But why don't you like the music? The music has its own message. It's not just music. It's a message that prepares you for what you're about to watch. Again, if you don't like it, I respect your choice, okay? I will see you some other time. Thank you, and thank you. Far too kind. You are far too kind. And good night from here.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun Diary political. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Mayegun ti dé. dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Ha! Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.